period sa oh I come to what the nyamia
what the nyamia what you when I'm a radio sampa Nelson the man was a dear day what you must say you say be our Christoni Sebio Yame Tebiano Mono Pamoshe Mama we are seeing who the Namoshe sanity. No be oh yes sanity and one no Timon fine Jumayaba. So I dear my queer friend say you need no Muslim for none I know man and drew Mosala so one love you know yes Bruno no man Bruno for more than Muslim yes smile and nominate one guy Ochicha Papa no question. Yes, Yababa Sunti. Whoa, Yababa Quamon on here, no, you're the latest of foreign Herbal. And I don't pay line with the show now. Whoa, or dim for some yellow say, the prayer and counseling. I center, Omuchumedi and I know some nuggets were across Wafino, Abakuna Riana Santi, ya cows, Abamodiansa, Wabakuna, no, dim for bedding, come 1-2-1-2 as a day, Sir Odiano, a promise and fellow, and a junior freeway. And you can say was out of promise and fellow room Yamiadama 2026 internet ya can for or do for Samuel and some Adiama Sauti and Ano player but Morian Sobe questions why it can be and some time in a Wodiano a your court Aquania Buffet a Yadia spiritually Yashao Kawa I will soon sumo a quantum Samafe Wodian Air one is some near Juma and a chess enquire quantuno won't some number so to be a Morian Son or team for our Samuel so Ebeka says so no and a Brahmania can so fish and you know will sound sweat to me a canima be dia fenioma and some be stable amanioma and so about Kwasuano Amawa walk cruciano our menshia I am Bobuano ho and will do for Samuel Nano Peno one of some 8 year a year chess I won't summon now a 0246 66 7117 now or do for Samuel and some so 3p garlic mixture my catch young Casa 100% a garlic extract and a giant and natural plants no yeri bi some tiana say aboa amani pedriano and your man so aye kamesan se nuano no hodo a aye mani pedriano esiese ni pedriano and some ahyemu masebia minerals no ebi aye vitamin C num a chese ye edema oni pedriano se wo tie anasebia wo hwe wo bi a wo de na high blood pressure fei wo sugar level no and some cholesterol why kase ama broso a chese yo wo hwe enye ye wo bi a wo home ne intimacy so no and you can say be a asthmatic and simple a asthma so and about a pedriano so but Morian Sentempano Wabakwa a dry fantasy 3p garlic mesh and be a tona fe one is sanum and ya and you know and I say mano would you need menstrual pains and I'm poor will be on ante Kakabis I want to say be any pedriano and some abra what to baha would you a 3p garlic mesh and you can for at the amount and some I don't pay away in Jumadiano so Obaso Dinkoma number is 0248 928824 now 3p and perifono and some angel so Jenjamit dental clinic canano pay doctor so and so yachman adaba konza yam branches no and some abia bronya ba yarani promo yama discount our media wo babedi our chesa Jenjamit no sa utie na se bia wo hwa no pay na e bia basam oye teeth whitening aye cleaning and abasa we and some po utie na odie no aye scaling and polish and abasa we obasam Otenia cancer braces a goo I was sent so and I said BM and some other Sabia Kakai about Dodomian 2 cinema now you replace our Bradford Bono and cover side effect Emma ABM Emma just will be and some things was who see I change me down and I come for I any Jumadiano. And so at the amount and about Buama Newman, I have fine at the amount and some other planar branches near more. One more crown or mobile call atomic down and answer Nungua main lorry station a PM and some Ayakofodia Eastern Regional Mobile Central Police Station or and Kumasi and some Ayabe Pajan crying at Debia. make catch us all from so idea call Pantama High Street anymore. We'll send us a Bronsana Bank. I want from a straw and a Jenjamin. Our oil Juma Yarfa Doctor. Our 0589 139582 na Jenjamin and some Anjo so Buzzburn Publication Limited on your books and a water na medical bon sansa ebi a 2025 academic year by now and quarter exams na mom see resume aye 2026 na who per book and some adiama banner aya bomodi and so be kwakoto and some adia free aye Buzzburn Publication Limited omodi no aye A1 and I say routine 5-star and for the leading publishing company no our Ghana no and some aye Buzzburn Publication Limited akwadano safi and one start to school na your literacy our numeracy our award our people afi we benya aye color fun with writing my early writing for KG1 and 2 you know we be kwakwaje our Buzzburn computing and my basics 1 to 4 and 1 to 6 you know be and some our Frontier our French ekasa your mathematics workbooks afi we benya science workbooks and some aye Buzzburn adhere see be now brother so junior high school and so subject be our pedama kwadane bia no we benya bia to ni nyina ya combine aye 7 to 9 combined aye basics no ya can for and some ade amanturum and some our Buzzburn aye pankrono abet la Posada hotel echuo ma pana Buzzburn our mo and some di omujumadi number is 0507200200 Buzzburn and some abajo so and for Jackson Herbal Machano and aye tetiadro na 3D na just malaria and so about so drawing Anna Ebwama watimi atu ase one time one quick ekwa emabiem na de yetense ya bomodi anso ba test what test for MPS na basampa emsamuano e parasite no wo mo janu ma bomodi anso ba pedro na fan say Jackson Herbal Machine bi na fe won so wabobo janu camel 2 aye typhoid ase wo honam eyo mre afei wontimi nsore enko nyuma so sebia wo ye kroni wo to ade e wo dwom ana sebia o chechire ni wo ye drive any one kwadwuma so aja so wo bua down no ntimi so Jackson Herbal Machine no ene bedu akachina mu kama na mama yo ensom ehye Jackson natural capsules ensa ana obanso abaso tede wo de no so Jackson natural capsules ano ama chesempam munyina mo ye kama pa o so bia satisfy na yon questions wo ba ejene wa enyo de ana chesempam so ejene wa ano so enkoye krantene nyina no mu jibi na fe aboamo masete and some awie payo and as a koko no na how say yo mojam afe wani so honam and so any amamai agene pedre aboso constipation and so aba Jackson cold capsules and ebebuama sanya duane nyina no watu asian so kama anyana our pharmaceutical shops and herbal shops near you bomori and so bekom 0244723541 Jackson a product no wobenya bi enso ato
yanko AB Herbal Clinic na no pina fie ni nkomo AB samen kancho se eye cataract tete anase si wani so anase obi a glaucoma hawadwe wani no enhyere ho ade ya wadro no obeba na afia ma obi abibidro ana AB Herbal Clinic doctor de sayare na waya DM ache se stroke ana prostate ana hawadwe wo kidney problem our doctor enso the doctor me kana se motna se ewo kumase kwara so dwuna se main market na chiwa ana doctor dini juma domain kunso yeben Ebenezer preschool ba friend doctor 0541565199 now ne doctor edin komo emulitable supplement no ana make come for the amount say kantanka herbal pharmaceuticals wo madaroma ana omode adroi abedwaman so say yeken utiem ne anope na problem e wo ho a wo de wani ebe kire na afro matime de ojumade enso ade amount na wo mo no adro no mode aba na support immune system support and the system ni pa e boost immune system no and support general well-being so tiem na say una antika krabia na wa bre obu onso na ne nani so ebri no wo say we dia no wo dia ya adwuma ama em say ade e chiamo asori a na aye buachi bi din ntintempa na onso pedro bi wanom o sori anopa obo san woden enso latimi aba wo yo ba wa fa yefunu na wo makoda no fo akra ne nimfe dumie no kwa ma na dre bi bia enye ye 0535112813 nafe wadu nkomo power specialist Herbal hospital e won ye dem ye ni hepatitis no BC anase na yes bra ye ma me doctor koso adua ya esa yarem ade ma fatty liver anase obi a prostate awadwen obi a kidney problem and as a fibroid no awadwen ese obana fia mame edi aduro ensom kan wodi nro no bebre adua aba adwaman so adua ya Herbal malamis no malaria aduro cough care ba Mr. Obowa obe yusu bi ana afadua ya ba tonic ni nyina no eno so onum ato ntimi ni dia e waduro a wonum ebetimi aboa 0244 544422 na fe wonenom adi nkoma wa akra kwabenya ACP road ewo Power Hospital bus stop Kumasi Feyase Somchi road awa Duaya junction mo takra den so rekodom awa anaji exit to ayama metenasia odi ne juma tabia nro no awa jama so na tabia takum bronyen yebedi afili amayani agea tabia takum no anese pebie na ye yusu ema olibido empem atenka ensom akosrobo awo ba juma ne mom no atenka ensom nani wa wonya drebia eno betimi aboa amo atenka nyina no eno ya betimi akokama edi ama tabia ba capsules no sisie ana ye ho adwumade ama ana afi malaria ya che wode watofo wonumato wontimi ni di tabia ba Mr. Onya bia eno so anuama betime kama 0243686861 na afi wadi nkoma router enro no ewa adwama so router natural product no ana make am from adiama se router live wonya bia anuama be kama ediama router live no ema moja edia frusane ye ewo ni pedua no blood circulation enhance no ana afi router Mr. no so malaria draw ene stronko esa general body pains draw so pains him ote ewo ni pedua mu a wonya draw bia betimi akọ ana afi router tonic no typhoid fever eno so mbe free o ede ama 0244485632 na afi woni router empedi form ngadi komo yerem ewo Lawson Beverages Limited Dr. Lawson ye Lawson delay man beaters ene bema de esem obo adwuma delay ewo mpem ese ajutum se wo brema mu wadro ana meka wasem de ama no na adrei eboama utimi last long awo mpem na delay man capsules no so no eboa bema ane ma emani tutu utiem maybe o menses no eba na eso abu emze date no esesasesa ana afi eba nso a wote ya akwa fitira ya na a problem am for redo ema wo mo de kwaje salary ni nyina sese bosome so bia wo na ama nkofo e usa bosome aso wadro no dilemma capsules nya bia eno ebetimi aboa 0248619999 baby ato wadro bia no wo benya bia to Natural Company Limited omo ana de Proslav capsules abedwaman so na Proslav no dia ye prostate issue eno na Proslav no ho adwuma de mantimi me ka say wutie me na odwonso bo odwonso a na ebia kam obi nso die nie ojonso a na emu apam ye no obi nso teyaw ewo ne bema no abra jonso ne ba ne nyina ne yaja yade a hawadwe a chese ne owo otimi tware ne sesa ansa na jonso yi enso maba wadwe Proslav no ebebo true man ye weak erection ana fe premature ejaculation wo woni atenka se obedi empama gudi enso onya drebia ebebo Congo ointment no obo akra ne diaper na rashes eguna na fe utie me pimples BS wanim ana fe rashes be say body na wadro Congo ointment no ana be 0249017101 na fe wadi nkomo ene edemi dimafo Dr. Time da so Dr. Demre to ye yade so ede ama ye yade ban ana de wato form ona na se onu bi say ye stroke ana say ye sisi yade ye ene prostate one asema na sa wo ana ho aye den ede amawa wo wari mfie bebre ni awo ma doctor sebra no famre enso ento yade yi so emfama bra saw ya dear doctor what na si wo buako agogo school junction I want a doctor tenasi akran so pokuase mayera 0244774282 na fe woni ene doc edin komo na yenko Herbal Herbal capsules aso ye Herbal esoboti liver no liver draw enti utieme na so liver wako hospital me aka twa se wa mo ho ban a ebetimi ensom adi failure aba enti a kire se wanya ati message bia ana so liver no problem abemu a eno asa wo nom sa droi Herbal Herbal capsules no eno anabebo asa yade kra ni wa wo de no bi na emo ho ba because liver no edu ba bi a transplant aye koye wo India ehon ko an ye bie wadru wo kra no se de abai ebefa na se emfa ya asemfoforo enti ye ka liver ho asema no agye atum na wo so nwatimi apebi 05574557453579 na odin komna afenu ama ye kama efe ama Currentic Ventures wono madaroma Zara Mr ene ni G capsules no ewe adwaman so adroi ana me kan fa eba ne genital rashes sa onkomoyi anaja wo se rashes eguso wo shevi wi a na nsan bi abeguso wadroi enso mani wate nam yare se guno ana syphilis candidiasis ni nyina eno enso ebetimi akona Zara man capsules no de chidom hene emema nyina adro eno ene ma usi ene cheze pampim ewo mpem ami ajutum se wo pema hindi aba misha eno so aye malaria ana afi aba na diabetes adro eno so eboa 0246348334 na afi wetin komo Kojak Farmer wono ana de Kojak Charcoal toothpaste adi aba na toothpaste eno eboa obetwi wo se wono be down cry eyusubi ama ne boa mpanimfo so yusubi a eno enso eboa yenti anu ahye no so ede ama me se droi ana Ghana for obia enum bie ana se obia yusubi na de anom no eye de uti eye o ya na se uti fa pibroni efe no migraine eno eye Kojak Procode no nya bi na afi onoma ebetumi aboa maseti pa ni nyina no abra na hunum esonso ni ade ni nyina be free o e de ama Procode ne de am se Ghana for ekutam eye pa 0244557597 na afi wadin komo Alaska Star Enterprise Adaroma wo purpose ne de se bronyai wa wani tua obetwi wo dem kama obenya wo ana afi office obeya wo kama ayo ma blind curtains wo de be artificial grass no ebi eho omo de nuama bebre ana aba modern TV stand see womu adebi aba ana afi sofa chair covers ni nyina no wobenya bi Alaska dwumadi a odina no asekumase adum ye ne boss of building no edi anum hwe o Mrs. Anoche Plaza ewo ane edi adwuma Accra Circle Tiptoe Lane inside Shepherds baby achaman K20 mo edi wo mu dwuma ne 0554114878 na afi wadim enkomo Siemens Vital Bar Mixture and capsules na wagime so agan enie agan no eye adwuma say ne awutie me bema wo ye mrentem e won pem 2 minutes no awie say bema de ogina so 35 to 40 in a minute to 45 first half naja wo de 45-90 na fe won say ne wo bema na wo ya na besene kwode a ene o mema yo no ene say o man no say wo mu pedie mu wa entimi shropa say wo ko long journey na fe nioma kama wo yo ban so na o menses na emeya Unya ene prekasa preke ni bi na wo de tetra ebebo apanti bono 442 na nyoma enye kama 0240616061 na woni adin komo high sense for Daroma yebekwa mo no ne na no pay high sense me kan tro se dwumadi ayedi no yeguso aya tete so yebo no ewo form bronya edie yebe se obi anya home appliances e woni fie ente TV ana se bi aye iron bi ana ope eye rice cooker bi ope air conditioner na se yesu ewo fie fan bi na ope ni nyina no yatete so se hu the bono eda from bronya momre na afi bronya momra na afi ni enso emom ye bie ye showrooms no mo nkra ne de achemota no ye bie na no pe mo ewo ene silicon so ye bie mo La Paz ye bie nkra be bia ye o aye die djuma wo kuma senso a wo aduma won se ke tano so ana afi tafo nyina no ye djuma die ekoso wo akran so a medika kane mo ewo sunyan ana fe techima ni nyina no ya bien showrooms no betimi afre number 0302550000 na phone high sense for no edi enkoma wo Jason ne dia replica no ubenya bi na afi aboa wa ya na we Jason kama ne bo no enso eda form ana afi se de ne maker a chese utie no Jason no club Jason ana national team Jason ni nyina ana on say kabi wo be friend na be na afi wa je wo de 0547047771 ana 0203-682-641 na wajo quality replica JC na bibia akoye fancy di Maria.
Whoa, may say amuzupi question of the day infection drew amuzupi na daruma anano pay a day in question of the day emona as simple as ABC amuzupi say yemusa say a day and also Madrid a coach Xabi Alonso a day Vinicius on benchino and I say I was a Vinny. Start matches again. I say be a coach, so a day I have Vinny and fast so Kwambe or say one should also do with Vinicius. One should also do with Vinicius bench or start. Cabo.
Well, I'm saying Adriano Ebi and Ghana for so Edomodia Eba and Anupi Nafi, said Niama, and so see call Yanshanafi and Twasun Fenfree away. Pedro Madina Cruz Alonso should bench him. Okay, and no Edine, one also Diabaya Seba Mokoma in fear. I was say benching him might be a good option. And no a messenger, one also a day Abba and Anupi away in show no so. You don't some a day by way when so ya Asari Kingsley said from Asantemanpon, Alonso should bench Vinny Jr. and no any message or day Abenanu pay Bill Anpon and Bill inside Tepa Kenya go bench Vinny and one also a diaba say Vinny no yam bench no and no a kakene one also a day Abba you don't 70 mile when so a year a branch and Abaka Bill was I fancy good morning watching a show live from Agunama Fee was he should bench him for sometimes okay and start Rodrigo and no ayetene one so the Abba Santiago GH was it from Medina and what day free was it try benching him and you are okay and was it and you are history forever and no Alonso and what the message and so Manana Kwaku say Ampra from Achema Prade was say Alonso should bench Vinny on bench Vinny and no what the Abba Kaka the bright say Alonso must go and Vinny should always start and no new message or no and so de Abenano Penes Alonso and so as well call and no any message no where Akpa Richmond was say he should bench him okay on bench no and no any message and no when say Elijah Benson Elijah a message and Elijah said Vinny is always Vinicius so okay 100% and no so de Abba Abrancha Martin Chum was say should bench Vinicius Jr. and what the message and so the Abba Grandmaster Murphy say Alonso should bench himself okay and so a message Master Murphy a day free Abba Fancy Di Maria
whoa Mate Supremo Meda say na momentum so when you saw a Peter Boache so I say yam bench a Vinicius Nadia one on about from Barney Okromo say a here okay me from amenya say I was chrono and so ben a Barney Okrom ohia pai minim sana e chrono and so te dia minim menya ne dia menya so amomfa ncheme ono so ne dia no we na kojo na kojo and so message any say Alonso should start a new squad. Now say I was so bench a Vinny and a Bobby Sport and as a Robbie Sport I say Vinny must be bench and no no so the message on the buyer wow Quay Isaac say what a free day and a bono crowd of fools I was some Madrid and so a ton I have Vinny Emma just a Vinny so echo and I feel when some I say your friend Carlos and so the Fijache and so Abram so now one bench Vinny on starting wine and found the course in our sub point and so I started Emma Madrid and a message Carlos Vinicius said and so buyer war destiny grab and so say Alonso should be sacked Vinny I was so started and no I don't so the message I don't pay one also at the Urbana Ransom Jomo and say I was here started Vinny sounds one of the bra I bench you nti and some I don't know bronya ba mame ma real quick na fe yen komre quotes no enie na Europa
yes
and a conference
bibia
timisi na BW28 5B0 B42 17 O's BW28 5B1 850 and here 12 O's BW28 5B1 BE8 8 O's. Last but not the least, BW28 5B1 F7D.
F7D.
Yes, I know. And so I don't know. and I say next week Thursday so na war a year na Chemi hotel no
next week
said 25th and next month can
2 weeks
my premise yeah book our question
yeah
we 100 Ghana per gate na no be
of course
na Chemi hotel no dey obi anim say the last time I'm in Shadrach no okay to go so one could be na the channel holiday no say chefao and then be see ya wada na obi wa call the bia him say anyam kwada
yeah Thursday say be do okra na break
oh masabana na break prati adane de amu he ni ba akubi ze kwa no se nko won se me bank wo de ache na bi bre me me ton credit avan from
oh say ni
I say wo ho the 25th of December I want to make kwa di bronya no
yes
a B strap and a kwa zig
masa ole be
eh na ya tar
oh na ya tar any easy
wasa DJ pressure
yes
MC are foreigner no many identity on the day yebeba yo ho
we dey outside
Kwame base
yes
amontwa yeba yes and then so na manager away bus so na 1 week baso now ba penny Janet sana ba penny Janet sana I came am few and that form nti asante mampon tunsum ne I was here banner better manager chi
sure
ti bibia be fine manager
and
so I don't know yes our betway adaroma or say koso one twa now obenya points no convert here yes scam ko ade obeso de bia betimi de aye betway nko na ma sa kwanya unya no bia we no I only exclusive to betway customers and omo consumers enko anti eno enso eno kabo say bibi obi mana
bibi en obium
ti enkomra woni enkomra na latest wo ye kwamano ne enano pay na latest no ayete live on Facebook your Facebook page no wo bo Wontumi TV area wadaroma now the LIVE ano aye live ya no ahye so say aye caps block letters or the so benya new page unya wi obe follow ye say be abrebia be kwa live bia no obenya ye ntwumadie na for YouTube aye Wontumi TV live also ye dem enso ye ko foreign abana fe ye the latest our foreign enso amao ye nkomra
Angwa juma no you Yami wohoda Se uji didia Obeya juma Ansachre no you Yami wohoda Se uji didia Obeya juma Ye bompaye Shamachi shra Yehuwa ila henu Yehuwa ekat We ahata et Yehuwa Elohika bika Luvika, Uvika Naveshika, Uvika Miyodika, Tode Yasak. In English, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Na guess it is okay how guess no me say guess no me say how many boys in this year me say guess it is say who to sponsor no I number 1 cheva angwa juma no you Yami wohoda se uji didia
nyina so ade ama me real quick wa bra ya the latest ni nyina ro enso ma ye che final process say ye wie aye shuwe fa Champions League no enso aye match day 6 onim sa ye bo aye 8 matches team bia no enso abenya 8 matches and about to shak mo mame aye said ye table no enso city asom na wa bra no pay no mo na so twen say wo mo so betimi qualify na say nyame ye year ma match day 7 hours abasono so we day 7 aba qualifier we are where say ayenti abatumi qualify na fe ekoma bia day 8 no we betumi agani ayani kan say promotion and somebody akwani mu anasampo we be gani ya kan say qualification no and somebody akwani mo hwa aye say the table esitia mo ma me aye full table we no and somebody the Gunners Arsenal team no bra so say omo form anu shepa na Arsenal ewo 18 points out of aye 6 matches and so far ya bought not as a team no woman corner kita aye 100% aye record and some our Jumedia ya dinner free no one as some kwadani nyina no and some our Juliasa the Gunners and some aye cider woman baje aye Champions League no and somebody as woman as ebiem no ya bamunche some aye club woman to so be no woman no woman 15 ama bobokua ya farisa Paris Saint-Germain obekai last season ya drew baby say na Paris Saint-Germain dasio baby krana so nyina chi no woman kwaje championship no and somebody see omana so na woman to so years after aye 6 matches played ama aye PSG woman our 13 Man City woman no woman so din kunim anra woman some our 13 Atalanta woman some atwa aye Chelsea no woman to so makoma ko enum woman some our 13 Inter Milan woman to so ensia woman our 12 our bra Real Madrid eluzu enra na nyina chi kwara moda so won ya kan sa aye top 8 no amene woman some our 12 points and sana alati boboko no woman some our ya kan sa 12 points yere update tare ya kan nyina no and some ama ye tefa enano pay and some our show so na mo bra ya guso aye dim command pay na ye sha aye say the Champions League gariate and some guso akos nyina no say anopa wonya 10 and some ama tie nchumadia what kai say me de betu twa say abranta won say no ni madueke wonom ana German of the match award achesenra wom game akoba say Arsenal akwara to Club Brugge wom some akoboy no anima call fine some other team na wono bo 2 goals na mom baby an komano wa aye sa first goal na abranta won say no ni madueke and some anya bra na goal no anu shepa said of far ball e sheki ni maka woso no and some to baby sanje kwai ni mu a wonu some ama rocket anwa e chibana say ana chesa no some akosha akuram ano ana chesa yes ade ma no pay no and some our show no sintano de na chesa no ni madueke and some asoja pa na ye dey accepts abana no pay wonu say ye din kom no mo say bu sa brand say mona mine 6/6 ana eba aye Premier League ne so a mona mudi kan ensam our Premier League ne so ana mudi kan so say na baba tutwa say according to Opta wo super computer some na ba say aye Arsenal wonum ana aye favorite achasa aye Premier League omobaje enom aye 1 ana the same super computer and some say ba say Arsenal abaje UEFA Champions League afi and some body so mo na so entanya bia no ni madu mu woni mi yoro nyina mu batumi age anasasen ana no som ngabasi akọ ana madu ekese wo mu de wo tinkasa wo mu som batumi age aye Champions League no wo ba se tumi age aye Premier League no ensom ade so mo na so ntuo ka no wan ka ba ko anya ba ko sele aye super computer ensom ade ba ni same ana kodana ye fer se madu eke ensom ade ba wa trasa two major competitions ni nyina no wo mu som batumi age yenti asema kodana ye fer se madu eke ensom ade tuja ana jono after the game.
Top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League, with results becomes expectation. What can this team achieve this year?
Yeah, I feel like we're fighting on all 4 fronts. I feel like we can compete on all 4 fronts, and obviously I feel like we can win this competition. I feel like we can win the league as well, and that has to be our aim. And yeah, I think we're in a good place at the moment, and just keep going.
Yes, I know I kakra what say akwada na eri tutwa obaso cha say woman som betimi age eri so mo na so abra no aye kakra from Herbal eno aboboku a ye fan say Juventus e wo fie woman som hemienu e wa abra Pafos aye cider woman som ntimi ante Western McKennie ono bo first goal e ma chasa Jonathan David ono e som anya second goal enwa wo mo 2 goals ni nyina no ma men front 2 won say Juve e sha second half na mom wo mo wie game wa abra ko ba sa wɔn de man of the match award ɛma akɔda no a yɛfa no sɛ Kenan Yildiz ɔno ɛyɛ Tokai ɛni akɔda na kyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ Turkish ɔno ɛfiri Turkey na akɔda no bɔɔl deɛ onimpɔ paa maka no nsɛm pii ɛnso ade atwerɛ ha no hadeɛ wɔkɔwura ɛyɛ ne yɛka no sɛ ɛkɔ lokarum kwan no ɔsɛ adeɛ no ɛfɛw wɔso wɔka bibia sɛ man of the match award na ɛdema ɛyɛ plus no ɛfɛ paa ɛnti ɛno abɔi no nie ana kyɛ sɛ ɔno ankasa so ɛyɛ adoma ɛyɛ man of the match award akyɛ sɛ ɔmo presenteyɛ ɛnsom adoma no na ɔbɛkɛi a mɛde abɛto dwa no nsɛn ntɛm ama wɔte sɛ wɔmo striker ayɛfa no sɛ Dusan Vlahovic ɛyɛ obi a wɔpra na bɔi no pra no meka so ɔbɛkɔ nkyɛn ɛnom bɛɛ sɛ bi a 2 months ɛma later wɔmo yɛ surgery ɛwieyɛ wɔmo sɛ Vlahovic abɛkɔ bɛɛ sɛ abɛsoma mmiɛnsa wonim sɛ no anadwo na Dusan Vlahovic nsom ɛwɔ stadium ɔnie wɔbɛsupport ne teammate afei ana wɔstarte rehabilitation na nka wɔsɛ nkɔtena fie na nso no striker no ɛde crutches ɛba na sɛ mpo wɔde adeɛ ɛnhyɛnhyɛ na motoam ɛma kyɛ so ɔno ɛnsom ɛbɛgyina mu ɛnso de ma abɔbɔku a yɛfa no sɛ Juve ɛma kyɛ sɛ no a La Vecchia Signora wɔn tim no yɛbɛhu sɛ Vlahovic no ɛnsom ɛde support ɛnso ɛma ɔnom sɛ Paris Saint-Germain a ɛnsom ɛbɔ ɛyɛ bɛbawo ɛno anadwo no yɛsɛ bɛbawofoɔ sɛ deɛ na ɔmo hwehwɛ no ɔmo nsa aka no adan a wɔmo sɛ ɔmo deɛ yɛ sika sɛm ne sɛ woyɛ bɛbawo a nokura nyame anim nie yɛsate competition a wonya wadwe sam ɔbɛsɛ wo kɔgye na mmom ɛwo sɛ wobɔ kwan no mu ɛsiane sɛ dɛmo no a wobɔ nsom ɛde kwan no mu no na dɛmo ana wo sikasɛm ɛnsom ɛpagya no na waberɛ kɔba sɛ wɔmo nsom atumi hɔ di bɔbɔku a yɛfa no sɛ PSG ɛma kyɛ sɛ no a wɔmo nsom ɛbɔ golan draw no wɔmo sɛ already ɔmanya 3.5 million euros ɛno ɛyɛ sika so far wɔmo nsom asɛ nya ɛde afiri ni a yɛfa no sɛ ɛyɛ Champions League no mu ntɛna wɔmo mpanimfoɔ no nkɔm mu di no nyinaa no sɛ sɛdeɛ ɔmo si budgeteyɛ sɛ bia ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo bɛsɛ no ɔmo sɛ already wɔmo nya achieve ɛyɛ kyɛ sɛ ɔmo budget a wɔmo nsom ɛdi kan ɛde to hɔ sɛ wɔmo nsom atwɛ so ɔmo nsa bɛka ampa wɔmo nsom aduru saa level no na moment akɔba sɛ coach no yɛfɛ no sɛ Luis Enrique ɛne goalkeeper yɛfɛ no Unai Simon ɛdi nkɔmɔ no ɛnie wɔn mu wie game ana yɛsɛn amanfo mɔ na cameras ɛkapkyai ɛma yɛhu sɛ Paris Saint-Germain a wɔn ankasa ne kurom ni Unai Simon ɛdi nkɔmɔ sɛ coach no wakɔkyi Spain national team ɛda ɛti wakɔkyi boy no ɛpɛn ana wɔn busa coach no sɛ na yɛhu sɛ wɔn boy no ɛdi nkɔmɔ ne asɛm ɛna na wɔka kyerɛ bɛba o goalkeeper no so mo bɛ sɛ mo hu deɛ ɔka kyerɛ Brian and some that is a Wobian so good here, Unimda, but I don't know should I watch and I dread to say, Mina Besabia, you know, and somebody tell me because I know a modern bar, Koran boy, and some electric bow almost supposed to know. Now I know worshiper, Unim say, and I'm boy to make 4 saves. I know NT and a man no pain, no, Yadaba to just a goalkeeper, your father says, Unai Simon, I know, and a German of the match award, our some match anymore, and San Canyon. Kebianka Paris Saint-Germain team no almost have 4 big chances Koba say was 7 ye Kebia 1-0 B and Asabia 2 Elko 3 and 4 and ka almost some and goalkeeper no and a coach and Bonabaso the best work can in answer Naniaje Adiama Unai Simon sir what was some Jumatin at is a boy no and some deserve Ebium was say or the best goalkeeper and some our league anymore without a doubt Sabia Ukola league anymore now for the best goalkeeper and some our league anymore I are way and him go da our league anymore our brano and some summer Paris Saint-Germain one coach no one some other 2 Ghana Mami PSG one team boss one the other 2 Ghana person Enra, woman say omu free a chess omu hotel any act woman say Enra supporter send him up a bow woman to more and some other boy a Paris Saint-Germain woman bass and bueno a reporter RMC woman and some tabloid and answer woman a media company and some our fans conimo woman at the buyer drama canning and say Enra Paris Saint-Germain Timino and some reporters be bow supporters maybe and some to and more at a boy team bass and man pay report to me says Spain time by 10:40. I was a PSG A2 and some other free I have a bow Montesonafe. What was some no control Paris now time on my schedule. So was Paris Saint-Germain. What was some no control Paris. I 11:55 and a pay 80 almost at 10:40. I never say be a 1 hour and you'll be about 10 minutes to be there. I was Paris Saint-Germain Timono. What was some attach that Ewo Krona and some Paris archers and a pano. You're the update and the academy, and some time for I was shown us another person. Mamma Man City for no, remember start to foreign affair, and he owns a Man City. One more players, no, woman corner, because Udin couldn't be area, and also Udin couldn't be as a over some Tadichu and him, no beyond some Pawana, or Okoya, Jumana, one bank, to some makers affair, and a Man City, one more Timono, one more PM, and a free of a hotel, and some Aqua Bote, one more team bus, Aqua Airport, just one more corner, your projector, and some other Mamma say, one more Pia Como say, the only person our when fee, and yet Chesabobo Kua, and I said, be a city, one more supporters, and I just a Quadana, your friend Ellen Holland, on Kua, and I'm coming here, some when fee, I hear supporters, one more Ku, I am Man City, one more some hotel, and now just one more Anna, just one more Baga say, at the Elko Bernardo Savannah, Ruben Diaz, and I hear John Stones, Monday, Tan Akemo, and then Chesam Kurani, and you start to foreign affair, and then Chesabobo Kua, your father's a Man City, I want more hotel, one more free hall, and some Aqua Fro, a bus, and money, and some actual our airport, one more cry, no air cacre free hall, and some banana peno, I was shot us now, you didn't come on cry. When I'm some Man City, a coach, Ayora, your father's a Pep Guardiola, now Papa say, hi. What you say? And we're born on my boy, I was still on a Man City, improve. Now, City, I didn't come about Ofrusa and Modern Bono, na and Drew Lavona, over here, and Sana. What me, I just went for Champions League title, and somebody soon also. Now, manager say, Sir, I'm on the South Boy, Elkoshia Club will be out of a PSG. Woman so Abayashapa, and to one kind of place, I was some Modern Boy, and Sana. What to me, I am Paris Saint-Germain. I'm on somebody at the level. Our Brahman Jana, I can't cry. Now, German second and not pay. And somebody say, what will you get my free? Mamma Madrid, I'm a supporter, sir. Outside a stadium, I'm a real, one more fool, I'm a buffering in answer. Every say, Yampamo, I Shabi Alonso, Essence Alonso, no, I'm Sam on Yadia, Alonso to me, Yajuman Emma Clubber. Your father, some Madrid, Dominion, Craman and Call, Papa Quadi, or Gautus, or Muna, or Bia Bonaje. I just a big dear Tom. And somebody from any other, one more saying, Infinity, oh, here, yes, car, Johnny Ma, yes, car, a fay, just a woman in our crown, woman Jai Club, and then Tuana, woman per a mobile first answer, woman Madame Bodma, Real Madrid, and some ideas are from Pa, and Tiano, I said you're free, every some that's where they bar, your day, I yes, and 7 and some Amanano pay, I will young Jumadiano Suna, Real Madrid, I'm a boys, yes, a boys, Nankasa, Yaras, and Ukrainian, says some more. Our form and yes said Madrid abono boss say and yes an almost abono Nadia ama omankasa jatum say am say adeba ko ha dwen a lack of attitude say bianca player attitude I was so winya and some other come match mu wo players agitum say wo sound your man our form and watchi amadon bono and some so ni ba ko kra enti mama tibu kotwai because tibu kotwa no wo odukotu dwasara and one man see almost first go no de na efri no wano agene mfonso ensom atumisa sa go na Nico Oriali ehya ne ye e ma chese gero ba 1-1 no kwato se e ono wan mfonso no mom wotiri e pass enwa wa wo hwe bone bi abaja atumisa wo mu plus no amota coach na ye fa no Xabi Alonso achi wo bia ni ho a wo yes otwetwene na enwa modon bono na enya bad I was say are said here omuko be bawo akwahya miensam ama be bawo tim no wo mo som antimi antene sama tombano na enra according to ayakoto a wo say omo boy our Man City egamrimo enti yabusa Jude Bellingham say Jude say my last 8 matches more we need 2 per nam anyabiano uhunu sa ye diena amanioma enkoye ama club e fansa Real Madrid our brother Madrid am probable 8 matches na chesamono more we need 2 as aluzi adrodro bi ani adenturie yentie ensoma branche na ye fere say Jude Bellingham at tuja our brother after 8 games one win just 2 yentie Jude.
2 wins in the last 8 matches and in the league 4 points behind Barcelona now. What's not working right now?
I think it's probably a number of things, and obviously we're still trying to work it out kind of within the changing, regardless of what goes on outside. We know that kind of noise will not be helpful, so it's about us trying to figure it out inside the dressing room. I think one of the things that's probably quite obvious is how we're managing games at the minute. You know, certain points in the game where we have to suffer, feels like we always concede, and it puts us on the back foot and makes us maybe play in a way that we don't want to. But yeah, I think as a player inside the change room, seeing what we've got in there, working with the coach every day, I think we have everything we need to turn it around. It's just about, you know, maybe a bit of luck, maybe a bit of bit more or something that, like I said, we need to discuss internally. But yeah, I've got full faith that this season isn't over just because we've been on a bad run of form, and yeah, obviously as players it kills us, and we're going to try everything to turn it around.
2 wins in the last 8 matches and in
Jude Ombaya Debia also mo ye Jombe Timibia na ma results are encouraging now no woman some attending your around the sunset season no ye nyanko ba bia season ye nwe ya mo ya we sa and your ma our form at Mabobokua ye fan Sam Madrid our brano pay no and against some player no what also to draft the game no and some training ko so busa Jude say enti mono no kra mo local room and mo dressing room no mo barking Emma coach na ye fan Xabi Alonso ana what you tie say Jude esi ehwano so ano ye ntie no
room still fully behind the new manager.
100%. I think the manager's been great. I think I've personally got a great relationship with him. A lot of the lads do as well. I think after the first run of games where we drew a few, we had some really great conversations internally, and we felt like we were going to be on the back side of that bad form. And then yeah, just the last couple of games again, just let ourselves down again. But like I said, no one's down in tools. No one's complaining, moaning, thinking the season's over. We'll have to take a bit of the chin, you know, as they say, but we'll have to keep fighting and keep bouncing forward.
And the dressing room still fully behind the new manager.
Boy, I swear the Bawatess, your dinner accepts amount to a Brawuchi and Ocean, baby, and some BP, I just a J Peno, I want to Oyuzu S word, and the shower, no tinema, one from a doctor, what just and you know, Ayana almost say, Pesa, a BPM, say, and your TV, and your radio friendly, and tinema, one from the beep, and so a shower, and what you mean, and the pen say, yes, Madrid, management and some afraid a coach I found Alonso sir wamra na meeting our and your management kakade minya se recrano a board na just a moment a board abaton safrono na just a don ai kase na yes board no say womo ba so mo desk ase team no womo current form esansa na obia ya we enya ye free ya de ya de we dia obia hu na omo busa coach no say Aya Diane and a man Chasa Madrid Ampa Molizu 2 matches our Bernabeu La Liga to Celta Vigo Champions League to Man City Moluzimiano and some area bomb Aya big matches from about distance in Yano Wamoluzu also a bomb and at the last I have 4 games at Madrid and some Abarinano I apart from Sebio Moshabe Bao Diakanin and Omoluzu 2 no draw Aya Bakunti Wambasomu Diantanium and Koyano pay yes about 7 o'clock and a board don't some someone who read Francis Alonso Omana Wamusum and Commoni at Damasamitino and also Abasuntana will be our coach in the future and a coach in the future and a Yaba Pamono Wamba Sakan on the Sunny man in our coach, you know, Wabas watch as a normal coach Biako team Fufrobimua Yanabia South transitional period, you know, and more than yate when you're the first time a BAC and you're the first timer, you be a Udia Busa club be enti omunko period bia and also to say that I see na omubusa Alonso say nkomodie mo na kwaso abonti ye dedeno and some that say ya pamuwa nie na omu sakewa ni anyabia no wo gidie sebia odwumadi awudi no wo be kwaso adi ama Madrid and I say and perform some other sakew yentie coach and for say Xabi Alonso our bra what do nkomodie fan future and hono was one on your concerned about the future say baby na tension awo enso the next game I was at Madrid enso abosan se bi asipan yentie coach no
my work with the team, how can I help the players, how can we prepare better for the next game, and this is not new situation in football for many coaches, so it's not a surprise. I am not new in this.
But you say today's performance gives you credit to continue with your job.
Well, we continue believing that we can do better, that we want to do better for sure. We are critics for sure because it has been some positives, but we can do better. Well, my focus is about the team for sure. You need to deal, but you can't control them. So as far as I can control, I don't pay that much attention. What I can control is my work with the team. How can I help the players? How can we prepare better for the next game? And this is not new situation in football for many coaches.
Yeah, manager Francis Xabi Alonso and our tester Yadene accepts Emma Nano pay live with the show our brain. What on some other kakari tukana. What am say Madrid omo management no. Dem say kan nyina say you say ebimo I frustrated. Na dentia me so say word and say player na you find Trent Arnold on say wo mo fa for Liverpool. Ama chese Arnold eba no obi ayare say na komo fa free bat omo yes somebody player no ebeko club one cabenuntina wo mu twa around by 10 million ema boboku a ye for the Liverpool na wo bia nim ball akwada nim ball and obi nim faso a e won so na no ya e wo beba wo bia hu adwuma Arnold anso boy no mom dia mom ye frustrated and say akwada ba na no ye wo play twice when he can practice ya konchen aba ano sababo kakra bia wonom asan kwa kopra na je asa ha dwene sa wonom sa Madrid ho no waje around 320,000 euros a week eno aye ne kan sa emodempo no emsa siso wo sika akwada eje na wo hwe ne modempo no so po Arma club na eno som antali emache eno na man asam parfo no wo som aye concerned e kakra a chesa no aye die frimo ensom na te eba na biem no yesem ebum so din komo say asa club atwe akwada ne hu so nyina because wo kan say under club na akwada we ye adwuma padu ba bi ema wo kan Liverpool team no wo mo ya assist emo na laterals eno aye Arnold and afa Robertson said your club esi use akwada no be 5 years ade wo tune ya panty asa Madrid empire for be giri e pasa wo mo twe akwada no hu so we no mo de wo some akwagofa babat onuru babia eye pra anaba ne age no some awo nafa awo brand pressure na ashase a eno some amount awo so amen no eye kakra free mu and some banana pay no awo show no so and awo dwumade no so afei no mame mfanto wanim sa wo ram and some awo dwumade a eno some across our Turkey mame yakodan na ye fa Victor Osimhen na Osimhen no and some ayobiam sa eno na dwumade ba so wo mo bonaba so okọ Turkey a wo GQ magazine GQ no where GQ Tokai na say GQ Turkey na omo athlete of the year womo taka no men's of the year na say be a men of the year sana Tokai for year na womo so mo chesa GQ men of the year 2025 no womo the award no emma Victor Osimhen sam manu yamaro card kwagene dia ama chesa free womo some adimo Osimhen na wabro koba sa Osimhen okojina stage no so a one some agena what was say what obi say o man referee and Galatasaray aye family tina one some abom nyina ba so yenko ba kana fe yentie time omo the award eshe player ye fan Osimhen and some nkoma brantie and some di yan fan biem na yentie Osimhen Nigerian kwada fan sir Victor Osimhen and what men of the year no aye athlete of the year aye GKO Tokai omo na presente award wo hwe event mpanfo akugu dam was said ye wo see amount a stage as a classipa and omo dia award dam Nigeria kwada na yenko aye Premier League nimo na okay referee for say David Coot okay say onno be cast what time club na Liverpool kwado ho mo kwana bibi ya yo mo ama chesane samba ma ba sa later nam so ne nkwada mind onom ne adema mfonyini bia na tese piepie ma okokota ne adema Premier League forecast Wontumi nkoso en referee bi ne adena ma na okasa na I was a referee I fan say David Coot ebesen ko Nottingham omo court na afa yeso wura no wagye to mu say ayampa emsa wo create a indecent image a chesa akwada ana na wom emsa woni pani anye woni akwada ana aye a chesa nya afei ana me be kire mekan won de mbasa me kire ye ne video ye ne ye twa pictures no aha wase waye sadene bi amena wase bia no sentence no eno so baba so ntina wo ko Nottingham wo mo court na afei yakwa ko sere bia court so no ebesi a sentence aye former referee aye farisa court anope no ye the update enso baba juefa yeso mo de aba betutwa sai no kra Liverpool for no Inter modika na nanu game am boy ya referee penalty on say no me be cast Liverpool players no wo mu nyina say no cry penalty ne de enyo mo na je e referee Felix Weya enso na gente say o mo pa bibia hu e Premier League ni mo anka there was no way a referee abeje penalty na we no sanka penalty ampara anka free Liverpool nya mako 10 to coach na cry to musa and shall anya penalty papa bia bat ahanom yes UEFA for say e no cry na ni kwansa anka va ebem nanu Tuesday anwumre de omo kan nyina say no Christ interfo wo mu tibem but eba no say na yana asiewie wo ya wo hwe kra na de no ensom kpanye na interfo no de ama omo buafo no say referee aye for Sir Felix Weya aye 20 years ago womo sem am suspended no our brother or your young linesman that time now we your linesman AD aye minor league just womo say match fixing any day say be ya trans ya shisha say be match the same and I say kwani at that time no aye 20 years ago e James omo kwakotwe aba omo so omo just ya wonu ya why be plenty and soon yo am nom anama interfo no womo som abuafu Mohamed Salah as a latest year and why catch us emergency meeting abekoso Jameson can say meeting ampa womo be so much according to sources no enya bass no mom meeting na e bass no womo say anya in person say be a Salah report e be a court no so report Jaminya no say never zoom I can say ever video conference call and okoba sam womo ye na siriri kan ka say Musala ajatum enti ebi oba pacho e wo meeting ase no report am nsa kan se nra wo mu wi meeting no there was no way ana Mohamed Salah abeso oka me ye sorry extra ayetim ne mpanifo any coach into meeting ase va video call no mo one pacho enom aye one ana for two amade me nya no say nyame yare ma weekend game against aye Brighton no sa chopa amade as of now report am me nya no say nya de say Mohamed Salah ebesa wuram e Liverpool womo som squad mo and some akwa sa game no enti ena womo say another meeting and so ho na ena meeting no Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards omo mienu nyina no and some abeka ho ana slot on so your coach no and some abeka ho omo say womo so mo shia Mohamed Salah na fe womo some address in your ma and across na entampa no womo baba so mo ye wie sensa mo enche bia na baba ko AFCON so man hwa no man timi ansie na fe montimi settle ayesqua ha dwempa wa bra wo just situation we ho nam obako aye AFCON tina wo mo so mo ye ntam no mo nom womo wajiri bi say mo sheda pa no kwere sa interview say be a e bia be kas ai ene omu ade ade aye ton amwa kwana nka bia boofo wo ma ton no okofofofo ana se bia oye na what the pressure e dey atu coach no so wo mo so wo mo no wo mo nka ncho bia so wo mo ton ho nti bo sala no sa fani afafo nka ncha sa e bia monteso fo MFA mo e be stay wo bo kosom aye djuma ama Liverpool no mom wo mo no hia enan so na koba sa bia mo sala yeso be kodia e wo say ekwan bi also am fa so na fe wo mo so enyo mo sika bia no wo mo be fa so ama Musala wo mo jare kwana fo ma jo mo sika na me no kasai aye Saudi Arabia wo mo da so tachire pampe wo mo twan Mauritania ma anu so mbesi after no mami Mohamed Salah post I want IG na post no me hu ahoma kyerem na me say never do obeso o say later no pay a couple you say say picture say kasapa o wo de hwani din couple fu sa post na Salah na search say on say asabi a garden money a days bi a e wono environment re ya kama ni aha na wa ha won tiase ha obeso o say abusuan ho yi etese kwae na o de ban no ha wo be na bo se dua bia e won sibire enti Liverpool na wo kakraka na we sere we din komo we sere we bon yonko ne yade wo mo sem aye one family no kontiere na pia na je share ne nyumuza abusua te se kwa ye tweben no edua bia wo sibira enti wo ben Liverpool na ana bo se Salah no oyankonam ebia Van Dijk ankonam Konate ankonam Soboslai anti Victoria evidence no and one year ever Bramo Salah no and some Maria Toa ye day update na ya kan nyina no and some amaye tefona coach na ye fa no Ruben Amorim and no pay no report amenya no say yes, time no more din ama Manchester no what the attention akoni krom for so because anya Bruno Fernandes and krom ni anempo akwada na fa sa Diogo Dalot waro som and krom ni omuntimi nyu mada esa so omu yenu kra no ye can leaders our Manchester womu yenu account am say san kwada na yenu no and some aginam fight and some adema coach na aye update ba Napoli for no woman confirm say ayampa nyame ya dona winter transfer market bia according to a reference, Giovanni Mana, one and a director, Edmana Poli was say, Kobe Main, Ayobia Masaba Bium, because Kobe the Ama Penache, and Tinyama General Masaba Bium Saquano, Woman Sansom Abacano, na Adam Militao, Yako Spain, na Militao Prana Becca, Namia Duma, Disabia April, Ano Babano, and Saudi She Ebia December, Ekragua, Nesam, a 4 month, and a player na, Yafana say Adam Militao, Abericova, Bano player saying you may be on my chassis, I'm some Militao bet me up in 2 months' time. Nessa phone, I'm a shimmy and wogu, Nebia in 2 months' time, Aquadano, and some Abba, and you may also, I want Barcelona, Womo Stadium now, add up to Tabaya, what Kaiser Frankfurt, I'm supporters, wo be a stadium mono, Aya barrier, more broom, Abasa, Mubu, Aya barrier, 9 years, at Totonia Madaba Petch, and Sasa, yes, Squadra Moses, and I am your police one, woman, a day our Barcelona, no, yes, so much Cheney Panamubi. Now, as of now, woman detaining Nipanama Kumako 5 and a Mumakumako 12. Woman some Brahma Chesa investigation and some Akoso. Now Dominion says UEFA, woman study Asotria, and was some of them at Frankfurt, almost some Timono. Now you say Anobe Shapa, Omo Abatroma so Pabuco Stadium way, woman William Poe, and now so boo Aya Bariano, and Omodi Asotria Consider Mabobokua, Yafana Frankfurt, Onumsa, Bassa Plus, and the Sharak for Mommy, will be a kit iPhone 17. I am monocra. iPhone 17 Pro Max. Omunie na yese ayachadia and I come as a company be and some other by Enra. Na a off day. I off day now so boys will be about training. Report to me and someone no more around than the more now some 8 million piano idea say we are not that just a picture back a bat. When also Ronaldo Araujo Ejinam yet no I must try when a keke. Jameson can say boys from a bar a year training and no yes say we are GSA Motors. One more Dubai, one more presente, iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I will be a Enra. Now, on our grounds, as answer, one more saying a partnership, one man a person, banner, one better boy scenario in Tueno, I'm saying a car rental company. Into the moment, I was so a car rental company, quacha, a place in phones, and yet, and on quantum SPK, I have volume, our brand, one more to Senra, none more training grounds, me to say, not a off the minimum. Pedri, Ter Stegen, Fermin Lopez, Marc Casado, Dani Olmo, Womanino, and some alcohol grounds. Our Braway, 16 Edia somewhere last year. No, I'm saying back home, the general president, the Urban, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, one some auto Adiama boys, and our Brano Peno, Yet I'm determined, Yakanino, and some anti Emma, okay, Orana, Yafano Aredo Breda, Wayajuma, and maybe a chum, Adiama AC Milan, a pay. Now, Orana, so, hey. Mike Menyo, AC Milan goalkeeper no, which I say on him go that to do. Hey, now what's a boy no? Obeka a magnet. I know the front ball. Now goalkeeper be to say young Tono. Oba soldier title. Oba soldier Trovisa. I was so my Mike Menyo and some stay. I was somewhere standing a contract, you know, and some other man in Tinuka Center. One China Amano Crano. I asked some real fans are Redo Breda. One of some area to Danana. AC Milan forcing Yamiama Winte. One was up a striker. Striker Mokakofabi Abana Milan Fono. And that's Luka Modric and Adrian Rabiot woman jinam and also almost started and some similar na almost on the average points omunya ayo 2.71 na sana omo anke fi se bi o mayemre se bi Luka Modric 40 years jinam Adrian Rabiot and some jinam no woman no jinam probability say AC Milan ebe win game and some guaranteed ewa brano kakra fi omaso ye eba okay goalkeeper na ye fano Rui Patricio ono so watch prime power and age 37 and he came to Gabe last month in Musa obasem retire and I pay report to me no say Rui Patricio ono ye goalkeeper no and some retire age 37 and kakra fi na so ye and some eba ye fancy na ye mabedwafo no man afi ye nto aso and free or this and some Wontumi sports buffet. Ha na mesa wo ye de okay and on se na nka Mike be bo wa power
o za
you
I know what to say
na go so wiwi okra see himself said the way ya ama na wo Steve na ho ye
me ado o ye den
is this so we had them we say
said no fancy say on twen na wa beba na wa be chire
adomane apo chintija wait about the TV anaja
David also be chire because no try to defend o and na omo ma o me chire
ya wala
anti dia
ya de so no nim die si
o se ni die ni bi ye hwe mu so na nya ni die bi
so wa die ni bi
nti wa o chire mu
wo yes yeah to aso bronya na enie meza me na ntie
ya my initiative na ya mo makwa ban famre bi I think say Champions League no yeah this year dey na kwa gugu yeah this year na kwa gugu so yeah returning am ya aduma next year meaning say you be 2 games in a group stages then we be qualified through the playoffs no kwa kubu playoffs we be qualified through automatic qualification now so akwani no akakoye dey was so but the whole highlight of everything that has went on during this week is surrounded by the saga of Mo Salah, then the pressure on Xabi Alonso. I think for Mo Salah there have been several discussions around the said matter, including whatever Steven Gerrard Kraba Monte Abeka Virgil van Dijk and one of service our issue in Fanya Day and free on them. And I've always maintained one stance that 2 captains can never be in a ship. At the end of the day, if there is one person that can call and one entity which my call will be able to order is the club Liverpool. It's Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, Omajuma said they will step up and call things to order, whether it is the coach or the player. You know, Obia in their right senses for listen or right. Yeah, Abraboy to one say the Obi who say is 6, you know. Odane no bi hu ni say 9 entiase na we say ye adwuma na chopper also bitimi tum say my oboni say then you carry it on but enam come me no obedi kan sha say di ni deep pa ne be Real Madrid situation and the kind of results or munya and the future that lies ahead of Xabi Alonso. Now I've read various articles from top journalists or reporting for either the Athletic or they write for Massa anyway about Real Madrid. The kind of reports or model about Xabi Alonso na bibia pointed towards one particular direction enra says Alonso lose game na enra onye adwuma bi mu from Real Madrid because omudi to me say say match no e be yin afri o nene yabo game na wie almost be 10 hours later to 12 hours later there has not been any sign of Real Madrid pursuing the actions here per se Saki Xabi Alonso.
Only emergency meeting,
only emergency meeting, no
7 a.m.
Asa. But BNP ma bonte say meeting no mo ye no. Real Madrid I am Madrid so bad day. Then I realized a trend yesterday right after the game. Yenya Jude Bellingham so ba bonte be defend the coach no. Rodri ba bonte be defend the coach no. Kotoa ba bonte be defend the coach no. Utie in some players ni nyina kan we are all in this. We are right behind the manager. We are all doing this. We are all doing that. Yeah. I think except for Xabi Alonso and what he wants to do at Real Madrid, these were challenges that were bound to happen. Nebesi season ebe shase aya na metena say Alonso no bigger champs so you coaches some other clubs they take it, they get it easy. You see, Real Madrid is totally different from every single club you have in this world. Yeah, Real Madrid is totally different from club Bia it doesn't mean they are extremely special than anybody. But come more fast your money more special. Yeah, and then pressure about differently. And then no expectations but differently. But say me pe game back open no me who say Real Madrid give it their all in recent matches on my banana and give no. Yeah, obi or has ha give ni bibia nra. Will tell you say there were good moments within the setup and I was saying Real Madrid to me taking the lead and optimism Manchester City. But the remember yaw kakra bem any ni break kakra bem ni say this Manchester City team is the weakest I am under Pep Guardiola in terms of controlling games. The weakest in terms of controlling games. Oh yes. Now Guardiola team is not controlling games. And then they were prone to so many mistakes at their backline. But you look at Real Madrid's individual errors players in the then you look at the broader picture and begin to question even Florentino Perez in terms of their squad planning for Xabi Alonso. Because Michel Rudiger shouldn't be starting for Real Madrid as it stands. Yeah, what about Real Madrid that better so second? Our Ballon d'Or. I know Yasako FIFA world best. After just 1 or 2 seasons, Vinicius Junior has now become the enemy of the club. Yeah. Me believe in one thing in this life. So you know be mane bro so aho be yeshi. You know be mane bro so in this life. Sometimes so ya dey no be aka che say yiro ho jai. Na umwaso ye den kakra bi onyo ma bebre ho aho be yeshi kakra because there were crucial moments within the setup ayaw. I believe say Anka Vinicius Junior take the right decision and kebi Anka Real Madrid win game no. And there were moments in the game and I also releasing certain passes, BJ Bo and crossing, and you take decisive decisions. But Vinicius Junior, no one making such mistakes. These supporters are growing frustrated by the performances of Vinicius Junior week after week because they found a new person or they found a new lover. Number 2, they believe he's not extending his contract. Contract now won't extend. The board also saw our money papa bia. Today now they demanded for that amount of money. I would demand if Real Madrid for. So all of these things are things that also Real Madrid can almost solving it out. But I think in a player like Vinicius Junior, as same way we can if that them we say only Kylian Mbappe. If Real Madrid can get a good money for Vinicius Junior, they should sell him and take the money. Invest in a proper center forward. Invest in a proper midfielder. In the shape of maybe Toni Kroos or Luka Modric, because that kind of profile is difficult. Then within their centre backs, they will need to replace 2 centre backs. Real Madrid will, even Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid would need to start getting a goalkeeper. Competing here. It can't always be him, despite him being the world-class goalkeeper Real Madrid were. At the centre back, Omube here a replacement for David Alaba, and Antonio Rudiger. At the left back, Frank Garcia is not cut it to compete Alvaro Carreras. Trust you me. He has won it. What GGBT says Jesus Valero we grade so big akra. But won't even compete Alvaro Carreras more. Then you come and look at the right back. Alexander Trent Arnold no epra. There's Danny Carvajal. But we the future now at the saying Trent Arnold bet my fit over the course of the whole season. Ubenya Danny Carvajal said next 2 seasons of Obama, you need to get a proper right back to bring in over there. Raul Asensio to me more they are. Vavadi a setra catch will be so no 2 no unpennable. 2 no unpennable. On the position of Pepa in Fifi. It is our positions in Nano. It won't take 1 summer for Real Madrid to replace all of those positions. By now, I think getting significant amount of money from a Vinicius Junior sale, bet market for some of these things, bit after bit. But the pressing positions are Real Madrid here is CA, they will need a proper centre forward. And they will need a midfielder in the mode of either Luka Modric or Toni Kroos, then a centre back. Omu here are 3 key positions. Gonzalo Garcia, we good idea, but onye cut it. Onye cut for it. Say the pressure at Real Madrid demanding every single time. So we best sacrifice the Amobino Derby. Then Mbappe will move to his original left wing side and start playing from there.
And a squad rebuilding our can once men me who adie bi hwe. Say monitor time Haaland a ball penalty in the share, no. Unlike Haaland, man, who is celebration. So I didn't come on back say few months ago I'm best story and say on one agent Pimenta Mobeka say a boy in the beside the next club our person ball. Unlike AB agent so young kwa race can near the bat. Almost so much say Haaland know what the final see. And I didn't know who we are so ball club and the pain. And nobody at our former team now one celebrity.
He did not extend the contract just like extending it. Yeah, Obi signed 10 years. I'm on for Quambia or the BP fanship. So these are matters I think.
You are married no bopa.
And I almost say clauses for possible departure.
Pep Guardiola means now.
Of course. Yes, of course. And there's still even Barcelona also lingering around, so almost being a centre forward in the absence of Robert Lewandowski. For Real Madrid, I think the squad rebuilding should be looked at. But for Xabi Alonso, is he sometimes player management, how to get the best out of players? And Thierry Henry Casembi, right after the game, no say Alonso, BBT said Real Madrid is not only about tactics. Sometimes you need to manage these players, and I think yesterday for the game we watched, there was a proper man management in terms of these players. It's just that they could not cut it at the point that now very important for them to secure a very good result against a Manchester City team. I am feeling so much wrong. So for the Vini and Alonso and Real Madrid matter and Mbappe matter, I think going forward the best decision for Real Madrid is to part ways with Vinicius Junior. Yes, the best decision. They will get huge amount of money. Yeah, they get huge. And Vinicius Junior has also personal ambitions. At least he also wants to be the face of a team. And press at least also be a Ballon d'Or because everything at Real Madrid is about Wajibi. And I'm a Vinicius Abeji the Champions League. Vinicius Abeji the La Liga. Vinicius Abeji the FIFA Club World Cup. Was the FIFA Best Player of the Year. What did they mention? So individual awards he has won it, team awards he has been there. Real Madrid beam subsequently and then him na man for the bare form. Sebi or not one me saying why be the Ama club in the power. Nobody can tell me Vinicius Junior near train from our club because before Mbappe, that Vinicius Junior a Champions League winner, not once. Yeah, what did they mention? I said he was the face of the team. After Karim Benzema, no beji sini na so be here to manage the Maomo. And he has done it perfectly well. Sometimes you leave when the applause are high. Applause in what's wrong now. Real Madrid decides to invest the money in other key positions. I think Obebu as a team, it's not always about Saudi Arabia. I think you look around Europe and you think Vinicius Junior, a top 3 world class left wingers who we are saying is there. You forget about the former Wom Sisi. He's a world class winger, proper world class winger. Vinicius Junior. The likes of Manchester City, one person bomb 4-1-4-1 now. We are an upgrade over Doku. Nobody can convince me. He's an upgrade over Doku. He's an upgrade over Savio. He's an upgrade over Kodigapo. Oh yeah. An upgrade over a lot of wingers are most of the top teams. Yeah, what did they mention?
Yes.
Even if
what's up to me, Raheem Sterling here.
Right, he's the kind of player that could walk into even the Chelsea setup. If they decide to say, yeah, now we need to bring in 1 or 2 experienced players. Maybe the only thing that will make Chelsea prevent themselves from getting Vinicius Junior, one, the salary out here, because they say Chelsea salary in the yeah, almost niagro. Chelsea wage bill no, almost niagro, and then this is so performing a move yeah. Perform it. That is the only thing a bit must stop Chelsea from going. But Vinicius Junior is an upgrade over Chelsea wingers in India. Iman is all net to 7, Vinicius 11, Kopama 10. United is so bad. He's an upgrade over Matheus Cunha. I won't lie to you. This is a proper. Unless United also decides to change from the 3-back system.
Osania 3-4-3 on the left
wing,
yeah.
And he's a world-class winger, and there are so many options and so many teams that could make him the face of the club. But I think these players coming out to defend Alonso is just a good news for him. But at Real Madrid, only one thing matters: results. I'm sure whatever meeting on Ben and Nano Pebi and on catch and say style of play you say attitude as now you send your mail by chairman. If results are not coming, this is Real Madrid. And I feel here go on say Enrico. This is Real Madrid. Results is the only thing that can save you your job. And okay, yeah, we be anyone beam. Only results. I just feel sad for him. Say results name ko infama, but I think Real Madrid will see him out. Yeah, we be NC sir. We are Real Madrid fan at TNA. 4 points between Barcelona and Mo League. In the Champions League, you are part of the top 8 for automatic qualification. It's just that the next 2 games you can do something. We also Chelsea Barcelona team you beat team you beat my show because more concede. Wow. Team be the difference here be against Barcelona be a bit much Barca because they are conceding. It was Barca 2. What I say, Barca be probably 1-2-1. So 4 points between Oman and Madrid. Madrid can literally survive their season. So me sure say Perez mo be take a certain advice and menu we are quickly yes Saki Alonso there be what the release is It doesn't even say it doesn't make sense. Madrid the free Copa del Rey. Yeah, they are the pan at Chelsea 4 points. Madrid in team by overturn it. Run to me. Football be a bit me within a twinkle of an eye.
Yeah.
The bet me crowd by say you be December can Madrid the we so game apart from Man City game no. So you don't rush to take certain decisions. It may also amount for Beckham Saki Alonso yeah. No serious president to take such a decision at this moment with 4 points gap on the league. Champions League was also war. Automatic qualification. Abraham was saying Real Madrid and Casana naturally almost season beginning by January, February. What I Real Madrid are here in previous seasons are even in Champions League normally go almost 30 years. You be we say na February match holiday ko na afina team nanka say hiti. It says Alonso hiamwa and panifo ne mo no somebody should step in. He needs help. Uhiamwa. And they can see out through this season. And Omu realize that if they decide to part ways, then they look at their squad building too. Want to tell me?
Okay.
Yeah, Gabriel Jesus is back for us now.
Yeah,
I think it's a good news for them. But Obia, the Papa Kobian can once me Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, I think he came to us now and he's made the way you know. And this is fantastic. Or say, oh yes, I know man Arsenal. Arsenal Tiska Bonhoka. What tier into Kwabem. Basically, dimensional mogul is giddy from Arsenal a decider. Arsenal will still have to rely on players like Mikel Merino and Gabriel Jesus to come back. I think you carry in common idea. Arsenal say yes from. Obibeka's adaptation, I agree to that. Say be adaptation, the footballer be on FM. But normally depends on the team you are joining. Yeah, sometimes when you are joining a team, a foundation has already been laid out. And you can say break giddy. So make a over Arsenal be a dream pempen be a because Arsenal bought you for one specific purpose. Yeah, every single signing Arsenal is see a signing. I was said you mutra a certain line be a Oma was for the last 3 seasons. So if Arsenal signs a player also the mutra line is a Womedo Koji League, Womedo Koji Champions League.
Someone do a case of Mutimijinemi. Oh
yes, which is true. I have no doubt about that. Because the teams no more Champions League in the league, maybe an Arsenal, and I'm a boy.
Yeah.
As to how it can turn into reality, the Meranin Krabi and a betch they say be an Asenye. Name to hope for, to have huge ambitions is so better the Champions League, League, you know. For Arsenal, I won't doubt them because more quality. And no, they no guard ball centre back ball cliche too. Where a club Brugge or champagne for no fear. Or tete or moi say folks who say why near bossy wachi no dreamika no prebishe or the no guard makobo konya clean sheet. But I think Victor Gyökeres the credit in the bank is running out. You go Gabriel Jesus Abeyi He would love to get into the Brazilian national team going into the World Cup. Obe Prince Obe Kobi. And yeah, Oba Bogo, had your name was Santos. Omunina pe Brazilian national team na ko World Cup ni bi. Obi e pe bi akọ. Gabriel Martinelli, first Arsenal player to score in 5 consecutive UEFA Champions League games.
Binsida.
Yow. The boys no. Afi onko aba be striker o dem a o matiska kakraka we abe fast cross da. Na say we dey ka have it ball be position o.
Osima be say omoni age say have it eba before Christmas because one be starter.
Also money age say dey
have it eba before Brunya.
It's over for you carries. Wama debate na wuntamo. O so no ni debate ne Sesco ne Votemadi mu na na musama.
Buying so na beginning na say difficult man but after a couple of games or finding the fit.
Now Arsenal won't bring you in, give you a number 14 jersey. Wouldn't just nation. Does he know the jersey that he's wearing? Unim power away. And what do you manage so?
Whoa. But that's it. Bramway, Steve.
Yeah, no ni madu okay ne sense am go interest kakra. Messiah about Victor Jokeres. And you see, okay, time and transfer possible destinations for players now. Because he's a fantastic player, but he's not the ceiling. He wouldn't be the seal to Arsenal's title triumph. They would need more than just Victor Jokeres. They would need various sources of goals scoring opportunities, and then people who can bury the chances. And that is what a properly Arsenal this season. Watch check it through Omu games no Mobona. You have Madueke coming in, Zaka at some point, Martinelli, and also Bemoshe. And the unsung hero in Arsenal's team in terms of the attack, Leonardo Trossard. He has been a fantastic player from the days at Brighton and Hove. Ocean here, he's I think by far the most efficient. The ratio of games per goal and then the minutes are play. No. But for Arsenal to win the league and then win the Champions League, I mean, because how many times have they played in the final of the Champions League?
Once.
How many times a normal manager no about Champions League, semi-final, about final? You see, the most realistic trophy I was say Arsenal forfeited whatever competition that they have this season to win should be the Premier League. Now, not Newton care about Guardiola wanting to chase down Arsenal because of points, and as he say, maybe I've been drawn for the league title. Guardiola ain't easily for an apprentice, and it's all fan all of a sudden, or also you're the champion of England. He would not want to see that. So Arsenal ni omo manager ni nyina omo problems in terms of to win championship. It just don't happen like that. You need the experience, the mentality. And Manchester City air kojino omoje treble no. Now they have failed before.
Yeah.
Now a squad grow together. And yet the experiences of failing in the Champions League coming up against Real Madrid on a consistent base. And that time Chelsea also had a very fantastic manager in Thomas Tuchel. So they had seen and experienced situations here. Omo manager na league in the Champions League in the no more players or more the caliber. They called the full throttle, and they did that. Arsenal team, baby, I negotiated period. I negotiated from now to February. I had the real test of Omo mentality. How good Omo manager they are. Into any discussion about winning the league, winning the Champions League, this stage is premature. So the real test of Arsenal, Abeba, in the 2 months, the enemy. But for what Arteta has built over the years, say football a rewarded in the Premier League, I'll be the happiest because we've seen the transition of Arsenal from a near miss to an eventual winner. Flirting with players, it be a mobile, they flatter to deceive. To players, or building a bond that are capable of dominating English football. So if the focus not any divided, not the discussion of Champions League, because last season Liverpool had this same superb form. Okay, yesterday almost will be 18 points, they qualified at this same stage. Unfortunately, and they had to meet Paris Saint-Germain, which was difficult. Now this season, tables not attending. For you to qualify, I said the big boys didn't have the top 8 in him. So Arsenal potentially ABR on share will be over Hanasa. The Champions League, but to win the UEFA Champions League, it takes a lot than just a mere brilliant night of football. More excited about what he's been able to achieve. So when Manchester City keep it under pressure and they are getting things right there, Arsenal will be pushed to the mode of dilemma, where to one show your manager no best start here making mistakes here ordinarily. And you can somewhere you watch the game against Aston Villa and you can tell say team is share Arsenal no more hold you more in the way of hold you now. Finding answers to teams questions is very difficult for Arsenal. So as season games in the corner, then we read deeper into whether they have what it takes to do that on both fronts. Champions League near demanded. The league itself are very demanded. Arsenal a very smooth sailing.
Want me both
yeah, both easy. Both easy. They are players on my ball Arsenal chair. But in the context of winning championship, they are all still rookies. Players building for a period of time. But the discussion of winning trophies, they are all green.
Okay, to say be a obit me different ama Kai Havertz.
Yes.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yes.
No one can say Monso Ediama.
There are few exceptions with team.
Maybe Declan Rice.
Declan with the
conference league with West Ham.
Yeah. But we are talking of Champions League. When Kai Havertz won it at Chelsea, he was that man.
Yes.
For Chelsea. Gabriel Jesus wasn't the go-to person. I would want Arsenal to win the Premier League. But the discussion of the Champions League, no more fun from here because Real Madrid form maybe but something can just click, and all of a sudden, Omaba into the fray. Discussion is very different. Antonio Conte consistently actually said, "So high no as a manager, you should just focus on domestic titles and forgo the UEFA Champions League." Now, I've read a lot on the aftermath of the game, losing to Benfica. Discussion is unkita team or the A-class players. So Kitabia, Manchester City, possibly he will be performing. Yeah, Antonio Conte in a squad. In my view, now also almost a try some challenge for the Champions League at Juventus. So that time they had Stefan Lesteiner. They had Giovanni, this short striker. They had Tevez, Marquinhos, a whole lot. Koja Samoa was part of Sao team. Buffon, Bazagli. They had quality. Team. Manager
Sebastian Jovinko.
Yes. But their manager managed group stage exit, round 16 exit. However, at Chelsea, something that Chelsea fans in any. When Timmy you may be asa and farmer Chelsea. At Spurs, the same thing continued. Now, after the game, Nensama can say Benfica played on Friday, they played on Sunday, and then the squad and they are tired. From 6 matches, which is a possible 18 points, and Antonio Conte after 7. Whichever way you look at it, bad for a manager celebrated. Now, quite unbelievable in a way. manager be our rising to the top. Or recognized or sought after by clubs. No, now you the changes. How Omo approach every competition. So Guardiola started a transforming. I could do a top UEFA Champions League manager. In club there as Wenger there, but he's the only manager. What he drew so you boni din say we top managers or my idea. He's still failing to find a way through the UEFA Champions League. And it's among all the coaches, now Real Madrid bodin. Nobody mentioned Antonio Conte, so a potential candidate for Madrid Juma. For an outburst, you may be all your tone check. Technically, any competition at Madrid, Eddie great, only the records to back him to be there. So, at this point, Omo baby, they will need the next 2 games to progress, which I feel for Conte, you can't trust him. Christian Kiv only Inter Milan, so Omo meetings with big boys in HSA, though they've amassed some, I think 12 points or so, likely they wouldn't qualify through the automatic spots because their next 2 games are against Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund. So check their matches against the elite of European football. And Yoma Nkoye for Inter Milan. And looking at the Italian contingent by Europe, they are the team and Anko be looking out for say Umbitimi performing. But based on our record, I'm not so confident Inter beating me in the automatic way. Real Madrid, Rodrigo said Okohagi the manager no because of you said he needed that and he's under pressure. Thierry Henry said he feels that Alonso is over coaching. At Real Madrid we manage there, we don't coach. For the first time I disagree with Henry. An assessment on Xabi Alonso. I may disagree no. I had the gesture players and I after the game. Jubileum say I understand the boobs. People pay a lot to watch us. It's something that we need to work on. Or say a game you're happy improve your game no. And Rodrigo say he needed it because he's under pressure. Say if no cresse the players have issues with Alonso, they will just be selling him out. But the problem that I see with Alonso and in the Real Madrid team, the NSA, the players are failing to hit Omoankasa top levels. And yes, and it has nothing to do with the manager, but it has everything to do with the players themselves. So only coaches via Juma closely. And we'll be team sergeant physical train, psychologist, sometimes they don't need anything. At this point, Madrid are top half in the movie, but they are not okay with their performance, and they have every right not to be okay because read the last 5 or 6 games of Mabona, the goal concession is crazy. And look at game how I panel out yesterday. It was self-inflicted. Antonio Rudiger, he lost his head yesterday. Look at how he was defended. But I was expecting Madrid to turn up. Sani almost 30, and I'm the feeling that they will continue like that. Rodrigo coming in for a player, and also Champions League in Madrid successes recently. About Vinicius on some comebacks on the shots. He been on in a complete year. For him to accept and sit on the bench, now all burn into a game, scoring and then embracing the manager, giving him that hug, should tell you, say, they support the manager fully. And for the very first time, I feel Florentino Perez and so Alonso on the full backing. And you can say Ubia panicky say the team is not playing well. But I feel Madrid beating me back. They have the quality. So Mudru on level. That's why I tell you, say, and Chelsea Zidane are way better than him. By virtue of winning the Champions League on 3 occasions, he is a top manager. I success. I DPR. I exclusive to him.
Because Mekai Zidane Modiano Crano. Drew Ebina Ocean Madrid league in mana form anyhow.
Yeah.
Yet Madrid the bad Champions League I know me a different breed of a Ukraine.
A different. Nia Zidane I am exclusive. Ancelotti, I don't think say I say rate managers you rate Zidane ahead of Ancelotti. But Ancelotti and team and Zidane it happens. But Ocean Madrid team under Zidane, my Canada say the only difference here is that the Madrid team under Zidane were players that would not settle for less, where enough was never enough for them. So the Ronaldos, Benzema, Gary Bale and almost that winning instinct. So whenever they go up by 3, they are not okay. They would want to score more. Whereas we must squad, that desire a bit on the low. That's the difference. But I feel for a manager or the Leverkusen call a season invincible. How many coaches never won 38 games will be answered? So to me, yes, no dethroning Bayern Munich. I call the final of the Europa League. You cannot convince me that he's a bad manager. But baby, Madrid, I was a Mobua manager. No, a smooth seal our club now be fun because the pressure at Real Madrid is crazy. But that is how that is the reason they are Real Madrid. But a few players now active very well, coming out publicly. So more supporting manager, he has their backing, and they are more than the teams they've lost to. Olympiacos they conceded 3, which is bad. Celta Vigo 3 goals, 5 goals in 2 games, which is poor. Baby Albashani Biano, terrible for Real Madrid. They need to sort out the defensive issues and how the spine of the team, that is the midfield area, and also backline. If they are able to do that and get Rodrigo and Mbappe scoring on a regular basis, I think they are good to go. But I can about Vinicius say Madrid they should cash in on him. But I'm sure you team Ben pa ne Oscar befa Madrid in turn the cheap. Ayi motor say run to me Casemiro no
because Kaiser Ronaldo cry say why am I cry so much 100
Casemiro no call saying
Casemiro was over 60.
And I feel that the wave in Saudi need be change kakra. Now they will not be coming with crazy amounts of money anymore.
Casemiro to Man United is 70.7 million euros.
And Baki defender
Rafael Varane.
I think that was around 50 something.
Varane so Madrid had them United 40 million euros.
All right. So just imagine say Vini Kose say one can say on the price tag.
The less than so more to my European team any less than 100, 120, 150 be a payment plan on budget. But as a Saudi for anybody you know. So over 200 or something here came.
They say me who say wedding. You say United ne benya say scam. I feel
benya over 100, 120, 150.
They are rich. Omo revenues no say na o kan ho asem cheme. Omo sika asem no. I think
so United for Vini.
I know for Vini so I be change a lot at the amount.
Okay.
Because me sure Vini on I don't know style of play no. Any teamer Obama the room to operate the way he operates at Madrid. And I see Manchester United so I'm gonna bet my man. Because so Oshe Liverpool and then almost say Mo Salah and match metaki. Oshe Chelsea they will need Garnacho so back. But at United this boy will be a big face. He will be a big face of United's team, and I don't think will be sacrificing a defender man and be a problem.
Okay.
But one thing I'm a Vini, ne who ya na bounce and some is as ne who ya from. He's just a replica of boy, your friend say Erling Haaland. Who say Haaland is a bit one-dimensional. So when you go now, my involvement, it will give no. Vini dey na more of pace. Ti abobo no to. So sa dey na ma no game. Meaning so observe Adena. Maybe an entirely pace driven. Tia de not 2 or now one on one dangerous. But we know free more. The other bits of game, no mean shadow hunisa. Though every moment to be or assist a lot or competitions to be more. But that has been the game, from where I sit. It's more like the Ellen Haaland type. Haaland, born or born, if he's not producing the goals on a regular basis, I do not think and Guardiola will stick with him on every match day. But because he produces the goals on daily basis whenever they are in games, that is why he's still playing. So for Vinny Jr., I'm not sure Liverpool beat him at all. Coach, I'm not sure Chelsea become say. But
maybe any wages.
Yes, but me who say United beat me here. Because big boys that were United didn't know so. I'm the old guys na Harry Maguire ne Bruno Fernandes. But United will be an ideal fit for Vinny Jr. I don't want to see him in Saudi. The pace, or lighting up the stage, and I would love to see him play because the game na nkasa there a typical Premier League game. Adama Traore modi ni bi speed no ho Baweno or certain pedigree bi or soro chain those wingers is any Messiah can or soro chain the Doku and whoever is playing on that same left wing or most of the Premier League clubs but I see him more of a United player. But I do not think, Madrid is Bejana Monaco. I still feel they will keep hold of Vinny Jr. He's part of the project, and Omua still will help Real Madrid a lot. A period the be and your man they will come back. They will bounce back definitely.
Mate, whoa, Medasina Amwaku Francis on YouTube or say. Well, Alonso the tactics isn't working. Talking about that. No Barcelona conceding goals. Okay, Alonso ne diano still na ya uja for the na mfusa Alonso nyoma na nhyeda mfasa de wose no esifa. Wo mamembra we so me ho one message one man beza me kai. Eugene Boy say these Italian teams will struggle to win the UEFA Champions League. Looking at the managers they have at their respective teams, they have to start appointing foreign managers and inherit a new philosophy to compete in Europe. And no, I also dia also at the bar and so I don't pay a show as well. Yamra Thursday na Yamra Meshe how and so El Honti. Mumami tune in real quick Yamra Meshe how say my ready dear. Baba Messi Abefa baby obeso fana fee. Steve and so Alpha baby ono and so a percent of fancy. Also be baby. Na me hwese emre ne betima ma me ho kwan ma ne nyina yetimi adi ho nkoma. Ye be start Ghana Premier League na FNA the sports minister any be di nkomo about sikasema omo pese omo de boama Ghana Premier League ne timi fan into mapadifra. Inti our first point of discussion around the coverage of the Ghana Premier League. And for the coverage of the Ghana Premier League, no more modern Adisa Productions and a headline in the Ghana Premier League. So meaning say this time around you don't need to pay to watch the Ghana Premier League, especially on TV, as compared to when Star Times no more. Because Star Times were no person share, but we they say they're free to air. In the league na mobia with the comfort of your home. But for users the comfort of your homes, you enjoy the Ghana Premier League.
ana mo si ensi wono ma na emum ye wo ska bia ye pese e chede ma class no club bia benya 1 million Ghana cedis intini club bia ebenya 1 million Ghana cedis yaw men kai the last time e ball league kruma se ma obi a 1 million Ghana cedis as a starter ani asa so atumo bi mo ba nipa oji league na award is scared be mana so meaning say e how ni bi ho no ma ya ye dey ya teso kakra Quincy ye ball league na scanner match ase na start league na o e ball league ni do be ansa na scanner reflect wo bi account mi say reflect enche bia yawo scanning enche bia wo bi ansa kanede ya wono ma Quincy yes 11 wonders 3 months into omuka na afi mabusa me hu bebre se nene 1 million Ghana cedis na de ma o yenkofo yi ebi mu di ayedai Quincy yes aso te wono ma yes House of Folk Accra Hearts of Folk Continental Club Masters
o parado abedinai
yaw you see na Hamza Isa Pro Sport letter no mo de babo ntin and they should go and deny Hamza Isa's owner omunko deny Hamza Isa ni agency ni letter no mo de babo ntin they should sue them and na be me hunu say asem na wo so defend say enye no kore no empa enye no kore because Hamza Isa agency di babo ntin say someone triam the player and salary now mo they are taking steps to what to terminate the contract. Yet it in. And you see, some of these leaders shouldn't forget about one thing. Say, these players, no more than for one son of mobile footballers.
Yes.
And these players are more abusia, despite some mobile footballers. It is a mammy free. Say, me ba me watch me yeska. Na ne ba ne catch and say, mammy, a could be 2 or 3 months in the entire car. Mammy no fisa one of Beginedi. Especially akoda man tibia scan buy anu atibia e dey eko my biggest problem in the Ghana Premier League ni ade ba kwa na me surupa this season I say bet max no so bebre sa ade we na no so asha esi no ye de ka player ka 2 months ye de ka player ka 3 months ye de ka player ka 1 month ye twes scan fa ma no eni momo aye dey isi yaw league aye boy on the biggest source of money for some of these young clubs no gate proceeds. The gate proceeds no kran anya week bia na abenya ne saa but otanyes ka abra abebo category A game against Kumasi Asante Kotoko Accra Hearts of Folk. That is when you generate sometimes a huge amount of money. Number 2, the original derbies. Ebia bibi ti said doma obenya aduana stars ni Bekum Chelsea to generate what they mention as no Bechem United ne Bekum Chelsea it will generate Bekum Chelsea with Bechem it will generate yeah what they mention as no if Kimfesa was still in the league yaw yakoka Kimfesa ne Kotoko Seshia it will generate money the opposite side so moko return lega it will generate money and now the FA Cup game between Future Stars ne Kotoko ko heni pa na egu ono ma no mo hebo no wow it will generate money. So it's important to understand say there's only one source of money for these clubs in terms of some more generating car, which is gate proceeds. Because most of these clubs don't usually get sponsorships. Now no me sheda nya abotre busa Bechem United mu nsemu ayaw. Bechem United sponsors now hold on even within because o checking an next rise, o check we ni na papa ne dia. Yeah. And Bechem United charge 10 cedis for gate. VIP charge 30 cedis. Ya we be match no kuta say. It na buy ne se da bi. Masum 1 million Ghana cedis. Yaw. Meaning say the operational cost for playing games, even one away game, is very difficult.
Oh yeah.
But the amount of money we waste on ways and means. What I say yaw. And then you maybe no. Ni asama come the players.
Now go kwaya the way no one na be the architect of I don't know
what I say no masama come the players me de me susu ye ne ma adwumu pa dia league ne pese ye ni ya yaw before I start league season ni bibia na was a club bibia na yetimi ma this can be to baby says can na be twa players ka for the next 6 months
ya seed money be
na da ho
Wontumi
me enya mo say 1 million Ghana cedis ni ko bi kura da investment a no nko yi da wo oh no found combat the boys in this
our treasury bill the next 3 months
combat the boys in this one thing I'm really suggesting to the FNA say now money is coming into the league bit by bit I buy this case be a how this will be better meaning say 1 million Ghana cedis need to mean kita for your money in because mumbu on ma munkwana money expenses are more if you want the integrity of the league to move up there because we are playing a professional league. Some of these things can happen in Division 1, a bit more in Division 2. But you perceive the face and the image of the Ghana Premier League in the 2.1 at this ready. At least 6 months, club will be a seed money. Obetimia on Fanto. On Timia, League no Munyabo.
And 1 million grand team free money. A club will be out there down.
Now, what did I mention as an on say, me aside Kotoko and has a be a me say almost salary bill. Any be a Summertex, maybe any ghost as a be a month 400,000, 500,000. The rest of them, yeah, no disrespect to any club, but I think it will range between 100,000, 200,000. So for 6 months, let somebody do something. And now, scanning now, month in a not in a players in a car. And now, we are at the house of folk, the Atachima level 1 is the Enchebia for Sube Piaba. Last season, Yabe and the young apostles then about one thing. And about one thing, none in them. After your Korea and Legon City so called relegation, so the air day about one thing. If you don't take certain things serious when it comes to the Ghana Premier League, in the way you handle player warfare. Yeah, your players need your Pebiani, they are more.
Wonders the old owner answer the new.
Oh, wonders that the Legon City is for you, and as I could pay wonders here, once I to you.
Okay.
I could pay wonders here, I to you. Yeah, the players' warfare should be very important. Player pra or better if you are my pranashen one Cedric. There are certain players so I am who be the soccer on Quay Cedric or so on yet. There are certain players how cast on Quay Cedric or Becca Second Canine or Becco Baby Amiako Chichiri. Near the Adra Fafaswa and who bet Maton. That player is totally different. But that one it's not up to the player to decide what he wants to do. Yeah, if you are operating a professional club, now if it's a school, Wako Baby Wako Pradia, but Manchester Bet now say the office obey. No, you are their asset. The thing is, club owners should start treating players as their assets. That is the only time they can also demand from these players as their assets.
Your boys know quality no more on fast so. Honorable Haruna Drushi Tom. Omucha a
Fatao
Ishaku, saying Honorable Nyai. You can £1 million so. Next say, even 9 point something.
Yeah.
One day that amount to me. Just one player. We have in a nearby Timos and all. I was so investor will be at the last time of Parliament. I will say, said Tamale Stadium. So one drew baby or didn't see Kaide. And you said a be a pitch and a be ready none team the Abo games.
Now Moses Parker, former GFA, no GFA presidency or more if you Palmer. Share Thomas Party. Any scan on your free Thomas Party deals him. Yeah, if you treat these players as professionals, you can demand from them as professionals. Treat these players as professionals, and at the end of the day, you can also demand from them as professionals. Yeah, and me and Tana saying, "Musem, na de biya come the boys, you come the boys, you come the boys, you come the boys, near Babaso." And I think so for Heart of Folk, they are making arrangements, say players Nisi can be reflected. I try be about Monday or Tuesday. Now, it shouldn't be happening again. Obia man 1 million Ghana cedis be within the players come more than 3 months be am catch the pack say next is either so nya be na say munyai. They need to be accountable for certain things. Unya what so bit my Ghana Premier League team. Don't even try and push it further so with my Ghana Premier League nibi. There be eligibility test na ya gumudodo. ya go eligibility test nim too much ya go mu too much ti sabi obi bi won ma be som twen ni amiem ya be som twen ni amiem because ya gum dodo ya gum too much. Yo, away from that particular one, there is a black Galaxy team or mobile travel across South Africa. Now, I think the list in the Bible there have been several complaints here and there. Say, any way, na better. But there has been an explanation around Obiti say Benjamin Asare say Black Stars and a planning your maybe or the tinche yaw. No cranny say baby I do season we baby and nam say players ni be intimingo. Players ni be intimingo. And one club of Bako Pam feel sorry the Momo Pie Heart of Lions. Ombe me say Lawrence J goalkeeper. Omo me say Eche Dogley, one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. Lawrence will say that you look at all of these squad that Omo Messi Omona play a massive role in their quest for the league. But me name the decision behind it said they accepted that particular friendly game against South Africa. And me name the long-term relationship and what Kasim Mingo wants to see. Anyhow, the FA pushed towards that friendly. But I think at this time of the season for our league, there are certain things we could have taken our time and see. But that is all we can get and gather these players and go and play these games. But I want to see how it will reflect on the performances. We see a bigger test. And the Famunko World Cup and the Famunko Bo, we a South African AFCON team. In Bokazi Munina Jinamubi, Bukushia boys, no. Well, the local league now they be a premamon. And Brain Sudie.
Mate, Messiah Medase, new break. One and one Kasai.
Yo, me was story to where we na because some interest was see as if you see a woman and then we boom. No sense ya will be bad we are singing and now to boom and the palm to boom. So now so na ka say there. What we say na me call Adako Jachi. Na anya Adako Jachi just okay se park. Na me share kotoko game ni bi. Man full time game no me say me na me say be first 5 minutes no na me share game no dina later me ko gina ba bia kot company for fans na dodo na awo na me tie comments ni bi no o say the other day na me catch say there are days I me share ball e pub for production nkomo mudi there are days I me share na me nko a na me tie commentator de work enra no o tie de obi e ka na in fact obinya na kotoko e party against Bokam game dia was something a party sana obia including senior journalists I mean coach almost right bonko more obia senior journalist doesn't change the pan hat or kotoko you feel say or share frustration and I say so me dem share my opinion chom say nipa asumasi or nipa say Johnny kotoko and yema best but madwene kire me say dreams intina coach no so yes I we no but my men kind of crunch kotoko fans and no pay last year the next season e konintino na mpanimfo ne fans na dwen yom say Dr. Ogum could have brought more than at that time they know they ba league no so bia no order FA Cup he could have brought more so what they mo bi no ohwe de wo aka na wo che no ni para dwen say I should have more and I'm Saki coach Ogum Zito by midway kukuru no G League no kwa Africa whatever be the case no kin FA Cup no league no ball no kwa Africa FA Cup no G no kotukutiri anya yi and man opponent or tough pa kwara de before kick off we all said no and broke to for variety of reasons but the subsequent opponent no makotoko hu sebe ni bobre na dia na kwa ni sa afin komo no bi man sa start kotoko G League Africa bio adena ya na etodo bia yempese be face reality or ya na ye reality no na mum dia ya enjoy paninti yempese be gi no kore na tum afion medema no akeka niam bia ya na ese fans ne me anya but omu hu me wana na ma hu se no omo pema sempa na sem na me kan no mu na no kore bia but enya ne de ya afi se kotoko beka se wo gi league no pa no nyame so no kore kotoko bebre me mpase me ka se ontumi nje ba se me hye clubs a possibly a near my digi league. Maybe who be biao. I don't see magic. I don't see black whatever. The ye who I de kasano near de kasaidia. Yes. Kotoko brepansan or jiligino. Na me de media be bakane. Me de Adriana Toso. Me de Heart of Lions at Atuaso. Me and some way dear. Baku and jiligina will be so surprised. Has Kotoko.
The defending champions and count.
Go Stars. They tell me Go Stars a few minutes say. Go Stars squad na G League no. And you muna hoyi. Bebrena ko. And squad we no me so young. League ya boy. 3 teams are what the youngest squad no Go Stars can. It's boys they know they are playing under a lot of pressure.
Wontumi.
Na ekwanya ye league ni first bono no. Yaw. The last 10 years one G League no asabaji biu. O yan kana kran fan chire ho.
Say OG defending.
OG twa ho no asabaji hwan ya. Omo my league winners list. Last 10 years we've had different variety of coaches. Some of what do J wan kwa asama me defend it. He is one of your top coaches. Dr. Ogum J wan kwa ma me defend it. Coach Nurudin Ahmed mechia ba bia obia Ojima Samates wajima ma meje and the impo ya na to so said the obeji kra no the following year wan hwe hu no ho the oje no the following year on kwa hwehwe no wan hwe hu no ho Samates Nurudin or Karela Dr. Ogum oje and the following time no so ko coach Rupomanzo me say I can be telling you this. Some of what do Jima has a fukunu no coach Adote or Jima Mediama or Africa by Uhuru. It has always been the case and the pattern. Na me for contest me kesi kotokodi no so. Shadrack Mame home performance league table no. So the Mame table say no so ba Juma. Go Stars na that first. Now my main cancel way San Francisco so per me knowledge of the league my catch up say I've analyzed over 1,500 games or Ghana Premier League no.
Wow.
Blaster games in count. Foreign Champions League now. Ghana Premier League. I've analyzed over 1,005 on my laptop. So any money be on my sequences. One kotoko baby or kotoko da. This is home table.
So Korokoda 10th. And your home table 6 matches played.
League no ayajeno. Obie ni hono ma wajino away.
This ofie.
This ofie about 90% of your strength. Away no, it's just about 10%. Away no, what far? Yeah, over 15 points away now. Away. Everybody's strength any fee. Now, check it. Dr. Ogum time no DG League. No, he was the last coach at Juma Kotoko League. No, when I never baba ya raso baba yemren to us and Bella more time no. Goes in the flow. And Bella bre in fege bre no more or Juma homia. You coach and neighbor. Tawi okay, coacha. It's my bottom. The set to say, boy, I'm funny from Arsenal. Rocky Jamana. Or coach, I was sent back and all my kiddy. He was a third choice for Dr. Ogum. Kotoko, Babayara, but and then you know Babayara, no, the Kotoko that 10th. You want to tell me, say, or somebody wants to convince me, say,
maybe we knew our way, no money, Aji.
Mo, what's happening with Obusa Mamino?
To say home and yet means also complementing with Huawei performances.
And me Busa say, who bet me a koji league in Huawei? Who could dance for free? Who could doma free? Who could become free? Now, who could Colusu Basaka Lusu vision? And find an hour Sasha Crobier. 3 teams, 7 Ketua won't count to more. How means how or bad league no on you or by fighting for survivor. May next week we know Beshia or Machio Munina. How wajo points basaka wajo points vision wajo points ahona person okoji league no baba yara e de woto so 10th na baby a problem no wono afena me de woko who is the top scorer for Kotoko this season o check it top scorers list no ehona oye Kotoko fan we won say no it has dawned on us awa who do bro focus here pa ba ko attack no it has dawned on us new Kazamba o si new it has dawned on us Kotoko top scorer. Se CIA ya kasa wo league no so na ye Peter Midu akwa 3 goals.
After how many games? By 13
games. Peter Midu akwa washa 3 goals as the leader of the Kotoko team in terms of goal production. We Peter Midu si nchen and nipa atwa so no eye Hubert Jawu. Ono so asha miensa. Miensa ne si nchen ya obakwa akwa to 2 from Abetamo oni ha biem nti Samba beba be show for 2 center back. we samba si nkyɛn a ɔmo maka nyinaa no ɛyɛ 1 kwadwo set 1 Lord Amwa Lord 1 na wokɔ saa 1 Donzo 1 na wokɔ. If you understand the scientific part of the game and the metrics how they change this time no numbers in favor Kotoko. Performance and the main call performance and nama fans and the fans they don't have time to analyze statistics and data. It won't performance on Wofu you coach Zito say no. I am summarizing the statistics to them. Say the one who know your performance statistically ye
say players na modern bona modern de wo pitch na so no. I don't know who Bufu ne be a fans ne fa. Basi de no cry ton chen say be a ball no nya fe be a go man ade a newman kiti bi e san wo game ne mu e man hu so o chena bi e be yi no ensan ye say home no e 6 goals no consider meaning say obo match ba ko bia ofia 6 matches 6 goals conceded. Yes. Oh babayara now in the final third my catch all the producers of the goals Peter Hubejau nasa defender no Samba 3-3-2 why now didn't be league no why ya motion no obi moko and the tiene say league na ye bono the last 10 years. You know why I've been contextualizing on the last 10 years because I don't know me carrying year part vividly. Last 10 years why in the Mexican league na when need somebody or lead the team no why a team be now you are some attack me. It has always been the case. Na impo omo di second no otoru bi kra ya na obenya top scorer wo ho Brekum Chelsea no amankona abedna go tataji 18 goals ma goals anye goals na G league no it even ubedi goals ru kra ba hye kra na nya enough you still need to be solid at defense so na asem ya mekai menka emma problem no pushing coach Zito so na me sade mani ko hwe against future stars no and who say Kotoko fans pew omon to obobo ase oh big club a true banya brain na and ya big club it me move say train it to be a big club who slow down kakra now they are to enema ahwe say ebesi so a na o to enema na honam na ya analyze who say the Zito ye so sluggish Wontumi fire mba then we sack him and so the boss jazz every coin no o promote him kra to say the okay big club and so my time say afi ye rebuilding menim say sana no ye discuss say Xavi there yeah Xavi baba G League but no dem the G League no next season ya augment scan wo say be ma pe be gina flick so ba no so be kika no ma si ani ano no so de age and Alonso dey ya to be 5 players and amount so mu nyina no adaptation fan tentem ye nu ba bia ba to mo se masa pressure on so I want to go to big club. Okay, you must have Sabasa to me yet kukwasa come market. You can understand, say at this point, a man for crackers and equal say Rafinha and Saka Oko or you check Kotoko signing some budget on medical. Madrid the Wakam. Madrid can sack Alonso today and still go for another coach. Obano they can still sack him today. You are Hanamo and a coach is in the house of folk more cars. So obasaki mi oba wantua meka eti eba ne say no a players na kotokoto to ye no obeja coach we kwan no atiska ni bia ma no skani ho ba be gine kwam no atiska ni bia ma no coach odokoto kokwa baka say okay menye ba players na koto mo bai no new coach obe baka say me hia we na chasa koye sabe enwura yes akọ echi na kototo fo enu nti na madwene ye me say yes we a club all right. But a queen be a Barca Liverpool for so tisi come after Benitez and after Luis Enrique mono. E be a who sa kwan and tisi come. Yeah, a kwam Liverpool fast so after Benitez could crew Dalglish and fa Rodgers and fa oh God gave us club. Now ya tisi come ye. And one thing I want person slide from baby a club to baby sino. Slot to limino you move your pamba sakeno. They want another coach or do me how. But Musa say Kotoko betia skills. Asa from Asoro be do baby early way. Said the Liverpool back quickly now. So another back to the purchasing power. To say maybe a club no. Koroga so power. Ocean said bringing a player in fee. Cast so power. Bene. Nipan fu so bommedia ma equally obejinisika. Obeko Africa. Obu go stars obejinisika obeko Africa. And oba Kotoko ne has no so asro obejins but she said okay yapam we aba yapam players so Jack
for national teams also
I had a member
so different club or national team
prince also nyina nya call
cool
first na
be
no course here so your that means
change something
and one area so no
Wontumi
na onu say Kotoko, but a signing about 70% of the players, you know, a place a fancy low at yaw. No, Africa, Kofa Samba, a blow, a be not could break chess a quality to a quality, Lord, I'm one Patrick Davidson. The chunk part of the squad, Peter, Jaumono, a place of your developing place, and they would have to take a time and sign whatever. Yeah, I'm a point in the say, and not giving them a share, you know. So be baby and I can say, oh, easy to dear me. I have nothing to say. Unless say omoka so motom wase ahwe team ne din no makasa no Zito has to complete the season na nyina ya analyze your performance why we allowed Abet to go nyina fault Zito the adwuma na duru you hu say what dey baba we slow ya sakel or ye hwade na why ade pa adwuma why ade to aso
we kan
ya sakel to aso fako na ahopepre yinadi I've told you I've always not been there, not because I am a coach, but you be also say squad, you know, at the time on them. People feel coach now walk on. Before now, when you imagine who ye, no the results will be at go.
Wow, Steve Bray.
So imagine them say Zito, only minimum at least season no hunanim, na club no so hunanim. No Wontumi same up you.
Select no monto madrin man.
Yeah, we are all here. Yes, it doesn't sound well. It doesn't appear so good for Kotoko.
Steve,
issue of salary into your players car a big problem. I was say if you know take much interest in it. I am not some that can acquire them because the people, a lot of them over there, are the people the only clubs. To can I say I don't know champion is in the year and so you because we are the ones at the end of the day was you could hear but see if I see a game no grow there never can be negative be about our league or football. It shouldn't be something that the FA and other bodies or control over. Maybe a suggestion here to say Antisika and found to one there. Oko based on the contract and the laws governing Bibiana, FA no employ players. And the club no employ players. Don't even say Okotisika de at all. And they are ubi or employ no. But you bet my India. Say BBC is here, yente clubs in the best 6-10 points.
Whoa.
Tier 2 now the relegation zone. Now I 2 matches now call relegation. Then I think say so when your opportunity qualify Bima, you see the need to be paying whoever you've employed.
Julian Kafu says a Basel club be 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
I established say I am the account. So go 3 months upwards now into your place.
10 points. That is in my view the only way FNO wait me solve a problem way. Yeah, because okay say emphasis can to be FNO employ. They have the contract of players. Now if you made the contract SNA FN as part of registration, also my copy of FA player no contract and it's OG. But we to make sure it be 5,000, that player and be a cry give 1,500 and 800.
Oh, some
also say me my copy. To copy need a metro they are bro. But the Eco Bank you don't trace whatever goes there. In the area the contract between the player and club need be 1,500. But the Eco if you wanna chase be 205,000. You get it. I no so see ever solve the issue now. Yenche say 10 points. 10 points I think it will be fair. In TBA 2-3 months we went to 10. The following went to 10. How many clubs currently Timinya Yabo League near do saying share points are clubs in the Guta 20, 27, 20 and tier 10 10. Oh negative. One frustro on any equation. It is a F and a bit my BBA. This will be my suggestion. Then again to the Football Association. Now saying squad and I'm you or Momo could do the match and they be lucky experience. say as part of the unwritten law of IFAB, a common sense. Our referees no also more apply our matches in it. But should be a lot of the referees in use common sense, no? The CS, no? And because your experience. So I didn't know yet twice so consistently, then you know how to manage it. But most of the young boys, young person, don't catch them young. Maybe yeah, my Bobby Briabaso. But a lot of them also use CS, no.
Run to me.
Jadiane Baya no come over yellow card no I say game. Because early yellow card in a match there, it's just a violent conduct. But obi to me be a first tackle. You can't any rules in so obi try one, try two, a third one there. Yes, but it's over man the card. But we cruise no we do a unit there, Charlie. Most of them.
Referees and cruise.
Referees no.
Referees now from cruise.
Because most of them will say game no. You ain't say game and then say. See I'm find a section and I start the game. And we acquire foul and you violent. Woman yellow card. Na 60 minutes na the man. It means 84 na can in no. On team money team no the best of him. For fear of red card. It is the men in black. If you manage they lack experience. This is no person or boy young boys here. Or more experience one in take charge. Now young ones in Suyan your men free or more because some of their decisions on the field of play no SL League in Accra. I feel there personally. Me boy F na baswa for a lot of interventions, initiatives in our domestic league. But to talk of the referees, you know, any decisions on the field of play. Every were high in it, referees, but we read a lot about the game.
Yeah.
Some of their decisions.
Be high.
Clubs be dropping points and you're fair.
Yeah.
Me, whichever club, it's J. But the CS should be working.
Okay.
The common sense now, I had the unwritten rule now what IFAB mramuno. I know who say most of the referees apply.
Okay.
Until they need to start applying that. So yes, sir. Man who's a confidence no as of a sort chess I am the man in charge, which is one attribute of a good referee. Which me manage home. Omo posture on the field, how omo handle players, no sending omo no kasa okay. But a lot of the times CS in any you should start applying that. Okay. And I feel say so Wontumi yes sir. Your line of production of referees, you know, in the next 4 years. I would want to see names na car for a friend and then yet Daniel Lai near Kwesi Brobe so on commanding lines. Maybe seeing different names appear umbeko as center referees.
Yeah.
In the AFCON, how many referees are we giving to CAF? Only one. And crimes or VAR also. Yeah. And I stand to be corrected though. So it means that we lack quality officials.
Or from the whole of Africa tournament, a major tournament. Yes. Ghanaian referee.
Yeah.
Bakope.
Yes. So referees, you know, can be a lot of the time would match and would decisions terrible.
Yeah.
Lines in Libya are always late. It's me bobo no too. Ghanaian lines men them pet troopers. Until your boys in your creative. Because when you're troopers, I know I come into be free chebe fakra.
No, that flag was so.
Match several matches. I
be two more. Be two more.
Until Effie, as a matter of concern, be a wide dream so. Time I must spend it, I was every annual my way, you know, all the FA you will not.
Yeah.
So I'm helping you to correct a Niema and more game, you know. One area I would want to address the attention of the FA. So also I'm sure. CS no nyejua. And then more decision course, you know. A lot of the times elite. Let's produce the best of referees for the continent.
Mati. Steven Wadi Steve and what is it? Why referees no watch my Ghanaian referees indeed. I mean their decisions be on Mayana. Ultimately be on say hey we dear day. He's a law 5 is he's the authoritative personality on the field of play. His decision is final. Samrano a boom by pa. Ya koni edim komo ene ya maame akosu adua ya koni hospital na afi ya bon komo ni dwumadi a